Absolutely blessed.
It's whatever. Yeah, yeah. Baku, Mausu,
Mausu?
Overthing. I'm gonna go.
The Guardian.
We needed an emotional support porg.
Oh,
It is what it is.
It is.
Welcome back, everyone.
Hello, welcome. Playing Echo again.
Playing Echo again. I don't.
Does it
That sounds fine.
Sounds fine. All right. Well,
It's all good. It's all good. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. We're gonna apparently see some wacky stuff. That'll be fun.
Only a
It's
little
storming outside.
I love
It's
that it's
kind of-
storming right
Kind
now.
of perfect. So I had a take that I wanted to tell you.
Okay. Is it that you finally realized that Leo is the best character?
No, it's not related to the game. It's just something that I did this past week.
Okay. Okay.
So I watched Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop.
I don't even know what that is.
It's that one movie about the boy with the headphones and the girl who wears the mask to cover her buck teeth.
Oh, yeah.
It's
okay.
out now on Netflix. It's the best
Okay.
movie of the year.
It's not.
It's the best movie of the year.
It's not.
It's the best movie of the year.
it just isn't.
We're moving on. It's the best movie of the year.
And I can tell you that because Belle comes out this year.
No, I told this to Megan. I said, he's going to say Belle is coming out, and I'm going to tell him how fucking wrong he is because Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop is the
Fine,
best movie
you know
of the
what?
year.
Guillermo came out with a movie this year, and it's amazing. It's fantastic.
I watched that
It's
one too.
perfect.
I wouldn't call it perfect. There's 2 minutes that say it's not. You know what is perfect? Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop. That's a perfect movie. Fuck you. That's a good movie.
You know what? I don't think I will care about the cast of the Soda Pop movie, which I do like that. What I've seen of that movie quite a bit.
Right, yeah.
But it's also like, Dukes isn't in that movie.
True.
And Asha isn't in that
But
movie.
every girl is 10 out of 10, and there's so many moms.
Ooh.
There's like
Ooh.
3 or 4 moms in that movie.
10 out of 10.
It's very good.
10 out of 10. But remember, we also have a Doraemon film coming out later this year, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be the best movie. Like how every year,
It's
the
just-
yearly Doraemon film just is the best film that comes out that year.
Ah, shit.
That's not... And we have both Precure movies coming out this year. It's a cool crossover film. They're bringing back Yes, Precure Go-Go.
Okay.
Yes, Precure 5 Go-Go. Yeah.
Okay.
And they're going to cross over with the current team. It's like, that's super cute.
It is pretty cool, but I'm sorry. I didn't make the rules. It's just gonna be
also,
the
the
best
Dear
movie.
God comes out later this year.
Yeah, it does come out later this
Yeah.
year, doesn't it?
Yeah, fuck you.
Anyway, I needed to share with you my take.
It's bad.
You're bad. Shut up. We're moving on.
Okay.
Here we are.
okay.
We're on
Yeah,
Saturday.
It's a fun Saturday. So this is one of the only Saturday routes that doesn't have like a unique image. Like
Okay.
it just said Saturday. There wasn't like a JPEG there with it, which is a little sad
Yeah.
because I really like the ones from other routes. But
Okay.
Leo wakes me up early the next day, telling me he had to settle some stuff with his dad at the shop. Wow, he's actually doing work for once.
Yeah, this whole week.
10 out of 10. We're gonna move the porg just a little bit.
Little porgy.
Yeah. Okay. Is that what I'm gonna name this microphone?
Porgy.
Porgy? The microphone I've had for 8 years?
Yeah, finally, you're finally giving it a name. It's so neglected.
I don't care. It doesn't care. I didn't get a chance to ask why or how long before he's out the door, yelling something about food being in the fridge. Do you think he just has a bunch of frozen food?
Yeah. That's what he ate. I mean, y'all
Yeah.
had frozen TV dinner last night. Or the
Man,
night
is
before.
that how you're gonna treat your boyfriend, Leo? It's just like, I have TV dinners. I have frozen.
He's living the sad bachelor life.
Oh,
in
yeah,
a,
he
no-
is.
in a nothing town.
Ah, tragic. I immediately fall back asleep though, and when I open my eyes again, it's 2 hours later.
Okay, so no second bad dream.
No, and that's real. Like, it's just
Cool.
like laying your head down. It's 2 hours later.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. That's my entire life. Leo texted me half an hour ago.
Oh, they do the paw thing.
Oh, this hasn't happened in a while.
Yeah, not since
Ah.
Route 65.
Okay. This happens a fair amount in other routes, so
That's kind of cool.
yeah.
Still at Pop's shop, but be back soon. God,
Do you hate his text speak?
a little bit. He uses at. Just type it all. It's not that hard. Just type like a normal person.
This was 2015.
I typed like a normal. Well, I mean, look. Okay, so okay. So,
Wow, I didn't even have to say anything.
I did type like a normal person. I would maybe use slang and stuff, but I could capitalize and use proper punctuation.
I
And
can't.
It definitely depends on who I'm talking to in the situation, whether or not I type in all caps now or not. I've relaxed a little bit. but
Okay.
I had to defend myself because you threw me the fucking look. I couldn't let it go. Anyway, I think.
Amazing. I swallow back down. I swallow back down the lump of dread in my throat and remember the text messages.
Ooh.
I don't want to confront him, not one bit, but I can't just sit. I can't let it sit. Something has to be said before I leave. I lay around for another 20 minutes before grabbing my phone and browse it a bit. That's when I realized I hadn't charged it last night. My battery's at 25%. That's real.
But I mean, it lasting till 25% all the way through isn't so bad.
Yeah, but we don't know, like, how often he charges the phone.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I groan and throw an arm over my eyes. One day left to do the project.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
It's due when he gets back at college.
Oh boy.
So he has not been doing a lot.
He's just gonna have to edit it on the way.
Oh my god, he's sitting there on the laptop while driving.
Yeah, while driving. Assuming he would be the one driving.
He drove them there.
Yeah, but he could get Jenna to drive. I wouldn't trust TJ, but he could get Jenna to drive.
Does Jenna have a driver's license?
I would assume so. Most college students do.
Yeah, but that's not a guarantee.
I would assume so.
And TJ's too young. He's like 5 years old.
Facts. Facts.
I'm so far behind though that I'm not even feeling any anxiety about it. At this
He just
point.
gave
Man,
up.
I feel that so much. I'll be sitting there and it'll be like, your project is due when class starts, which is like in 8 hours, and I'm just like, that's fine, and I haven't even started. 3-page paper, got this.
I'll type it up on my phone. On the way
Or
to
my
school.
favorite thing, I had a teacher that was like, the assignment is due at the end of class. I don't know why she did this, so I was typing my 3-page paper during class.
You absolute monster. That's incredible.
And then, like, halfway through the class, she just, like, looks at me and is like, how's your paper going?
Oh no, bro.
Man, I love that teacher. She was great.
Absolutely based. That's
Actually,
fantastic.
you actually knew her. It was Miss Allen from Floyd T.
I know of her. I didn't have.
Yeah,
Miss
yeah, but
Allen.
you know.
I knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because
cool,
she
though.
does teach there. So
That's radical.
yeah, just resigned. Yeah, but I usually get my project done.
Yeah.
It'll be shitty.
You're not some lazy gay like Chase.
I should have known better, really, that I wasn't gonna get anything done with Leo around. I mean, you did go to like I almost said hospital, the library, so you did get work done. But
Well, he read things.
yeah,
I don't know if he did anything.
that's more than he does in some of the other routes. Like Jesus and Jenna's route, you get fucking nothing done. I stare at the wall for a while longer before I force myself up. No use lying around. I might not be be making my best project, but it didn't mean I couldn't do a few things to make it less terrible. See, he'll have an assignment to turn in at least. So.
Yeah, he'll have something.
Food momentarily crosses my mind, but I shrug it off. I've never been a breakfast person anyway. Same, Chase, same.
Mm-hmm.
As long as I leave the house, I notice that things are a bit off. Firstly, it's dead quiet. Usually there's some kind of drone, whether it's the wind or the plane overhead. There's usually something. No sounds of birds either. And so there's birds in this world. Keep forgetting that.
Fascinating.
Maybe that's the animals they talk about. They're just all birds.
Because there's no bird characters.
No.
Okay.
No, it's fine. And those were always chirping in the morning. I stand in the doorway for a bit, feeling a vague sense of tension, electricity in the air. Something's building. I shake my head, feeling dizzy. That dream last night had fucked me up in all kinds of ways, so it's not surprising that it's probably still messing with me. I'll be glad to be gone from this place tomorrow. Some rustling next door draws my attention, and I see Kudzu carrying a set of clippers, walking across the front yard. I open my mouth to say hi, but hold back, feeling self-conscious. Okay, Chase. His brooding nature was a bit intimidating, and I don't know if he's the kind of person who expects a greeting or not. I'm not left to wonder long, though, because he spots me almost immediately and raises a hand.
Morning.
Oh, hi there. He grunts before setting his attention on the bush in front of him, sizing it up. I stand there awkwardly for a bit, wondering if that's the end of our exchange, but he speaks up again.
Leo take off?
He nods his head as at the empty driveway. Oh, yeah, earlier this morning. I walk down from the porch and walk over to the edge of Leo's lawn, so it doesn't feel like we're yelling at each other. Oh, wouldn't that be funny, though?
It would.
Said something about having to take care of business with his dad.
I see.
Kudzu stops trimming and looks over at me before smiling.
You can come on my lawn. It's not like I have an electric fence or anything.
Looking down, I see that I'm towing the edge of his immaculate. Lawn on Leo's side, looking like a little kid. I blush before stepping over to crunch along the tan-colored gravel he has set out. It's weird how nice it all is, especially compared to the shitty trailer sitting in the middle of it all. If he has an Adobe-style house, the place would be Southwest perfection. This is all looks really nice. I guess gardening is your hobby?
Thanks.
Kudzu snips at the bush rather aggressively.
I like it. It's what I do most of the day.
The raccoon moves to his to the side of the bush, examining it.
It's peaceful.
He gives the bush another snip before resting a hand on his hips while he lets the clippers dangle in the other.
And it keeps you in shape.
Does it?
I mean, it can.
Oh, okay.
I suppose.
I can't argue with that. Although he's skinny, the muscles show through the fur on his arm. He's probably the most in shape guy I've seen in Echo. What is Flynn not in shape?
I mean, he's probably like in a good shape, but I mean, Kudzu is obviously a little more active, so he probably has a little more tone and definition, perhaps.
Oh, okay.
I mean, speculating on the few lines that were just said, but whatever.
Well, you're not thinking that way? You just...
Not especially,
okay.
No.
Okay. I realize I'm staring and quickly snap my eyes back at him, but he's already smirking. I worry he's about to point out that he's caught me, but instead he gestures to my camera bag with his clippers.
Gonna do something for your project?
Yeah. Need to get a bit more film before I leave tomorrow. The slender raccoon wipes his forehead with a forearm.
Anything in particular?
I think. Not really, just old stuff to show the town's age. Kudzu sticks the clippers into the ground, looking up as he seems to think.
I know of a few things. You go to the old school?
Yeah, was headed there, actually.
And then there's the ruins next to the lake.
Yeah, was gonna wait for Leo to drive me there later today.
Other than that, there's an old rusted pump up the road, but I don't know if that's actually from Echo's earlier days.
Couldn't hurt to look. Where is it exactly? Kudzu points over my shoulder up the road.
Down past Duke's house, right before the convenience store. It's kind of hidden back in some brush, but I can take you there.
Oh, if it's no trouble.
It's fine. I've got plenty of time to do this today.
Well, alright, thanks. I shift the bag on my shoulder and stand to the side as Kudzu tosses the clippers beside the bush and then starts walking towards the road. I follow him quietly, again feeling awkward under the no-nonsense attitude.
So you and Leo getting along?
Always. Yeah, we're having fun.
Mm-hmm.
My mind wanders back to the text messages and my stomach clenches.
Good. He's been looking forward to this for a week, this week for a while now. Wouldn't shut up about it last week.
I'm somewhat surprised that Kudzu's filling the silence between us. Not that I mind. He's pretty damn good at it for such a sober guy.
Well, he is sober too.
Well, compared to Leo.
Yeah, I guess so.
I smile. Yeah, that's Leo. He really misses our old pack. Or does he?
Ooh.
Kudzu huffs a laugh.
Wolves.
That's speciesist. I agree. Wolves. As we walk, I can smell the heavy musk coming from the raccoon. Mingled?
Mm-hmm.
With his scent neutralizer. Evidence of a hard day's work. There's something special about hanging out with another musky creature. Why are you thinking about
That's
this?
really weird.
But okay, Chase.
Well, I guess he's referring to himself, that he also has like an otter musk or something.
Yeah, that gets talked about a lot in Jenna's route.
It's that and what was it, deer ticks or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah. It makes you less self-conscious. So I know you hate Peyton, but do you have to but don't you have to go back there for work?
Back in the day, had a job studying desert plants after college. Good times.
Is he a botanist? Like what?
That's pretty cool. What a guy.
That's probably a good paying job.
I mean, I guess it depends on like what lab you work at, but
Oh,
yeah,
I guess.
your level of knowledge.
That would definitely put him in a few steps above most everyone living in Echo, where a high school diploma is a rare thing.
I'm a clerk in the town hall, so no, I'm pretty much always here.
Huh. Always. Do you have a car?
Sold it after I came here.
Whoa, don't you have to get out to shop for food?
Sometimes. I grow and fish for what I can, and the convenience store has a surprisingly good produce section. But otherwise, Leo gives me rides once in a while.
Well, how nice. Ah, gotcha.
What a self-sufficient dude.
Right?
That's like the dream.
He's such a cool guy. Again, I'm curious about what exactly happened in Peyton. Things.
Stuff and things.
I'm gonna be gone tomorrow, and I don't find the question to be too intrusive, especially with all the information he's providing me so far. So I don't want to be nosy, but I'm gonna be nosy. I let the statement hang for a moment, and Kudzu turns his head towards me.
Then maybe you shouldn't ask.
Amazing. That stops me short, and I almost stop walking. I feel my face get warm even under the heat of the sun. I glance over to the raccoon, but his expression isn't accusatory or angry. It's just as neutral as it always is. It makes me wonder if this is just the raccoon's way of speaking. I already know how blunt he can be. I decide to trust what little I know about him and press forward. No. I ask it with a same straight face.
Well, you should always ask yourself if asking something nosy is a good idea. No reason to do it if it's going to piss someone off needlessly.
But before I can even consider, Kudzu goes on.
Now, considering what we were just talking about, I can probably guess what you were going to ask.
I can feel the embarrassment returning. Yeah?
But before I answer it, I have a question for you.
I shrink a little more into myself. Yeah?
Why do you care?
This question definitely catches me by surprise, and at first I wonder if this is just Kudzu's way of telling me to shut up. But again, after looking at his face, I decide to just tell him the truth. I clear my throat. Well, I like you. You're a cool guy.
Facts.
Right? It comes out rather lamely, but it is the truth. He has a demeanor of not really giving a fuck about what others think of him. It's like Flynn, except not an ass.
Yeah, right?
Except
Actually.
Kudzu didn't seem like he was putting up a front at all. On top of that, he stepped into the stop a crowbar wielding drug addict when he saw his friend is in danger. I mean, facts,
Yeah.
facts. Kudzu laughs genuinely, and it's a bit startling.
That's really the reason?
I'm flustered again. Well, yeah.
Fair enough. And I like you too. Leah was mostly right about you.
Mostly. What did Leo say about me?
A lot of things, but you can't expect a wolf as love-smitten as he is not to exaggerate, can you?
No, I guess not. I step on a particularly large rock and nearly lose my balance. How do you just fucking step on a rock?
Look,
You're the wrong person to answer this.
I was gonna say that I understand, okay? Don't just go with it. Sometimes there's a rock there, you're walking along, you step on it, and
Sometimes there's a divot
it's
in
shut
a hill.
the hell up. You shut your mouth.
No. Before I can even stumble, though, Kudzu's grasping my arm tightly, stopping me from running into him. Oh, sorry, and thanks. This raccoon had some damn fast reflexes.
No problem.
I start to walk again, but Kudzu doesn't move. I stop and glance at him, but he's looking up the road and not at me.
I lost someone in Peyton.
Reasonable. It takes me a moment to realize what he's talking about, but then I do.
By a guy with a gun who didn't give a fuck.
I swallow and don't say anything, looking down at the ground.
Happened on the same street we lived on.
Of course, I have no idea what to say and wait for Kudzu to go on, but he doesn't. When I look up, I see that he's looking right at me. I swallow. Yeah, that would make me want to move too.
Yeah, people, and there's less of them here.
I'm sorry. Kudzu just looks down at me.
Why?
I open my mouth, but before I can say anything, Kudzu smiles.
Kidding.
I let my breath out in relief and laugh a little. Well, should we keep going? I make as if to walk up the road again, but Kudzu doesn't follow. When I look back, he nods at the brush on the side of the road.
It's right in here.
I wasn't expecting much, but I'm not disappointed as we came up to the pump. Mostly it's just a rusted piece of metal sticking out of the ground. Kudzu seems a bit put off by how lame it is himself.
Smaller than I remember it being.
Meh, it's something at least. I'll get a few shots out of it. I start unpacking the camera from the bag, a bit reluctant to do it for something so insignificant. How do you find this thing anyway? I look towards the road, which is basically hidden by the dense brush in front of me.
Needed to take a piss. I know my house is right there, but peeing outside is liberating.
What the fuck? Kudzu.
He's an animal. They all are.
Not within the context of this world. Birds
No.
are animals.
They're creatures, not animals. Speaking of which, I'm gonna go do that. All right, bro.
He pauses.
I can do it in front of the pump if you'd like, for effect.
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
I force a laugh, wondering if this is the first time I've heard the raccoon make a joke. At least I hope it's a joke. My laughs turn into a groan, though, when I see the battery level. First my phone, now this. Why don't you charge your shit, Chase?
He's a dumbass.
Oh my god.
What's up?
Kudzu asks from a bit deeper into the brush, facing away from me. My battery is low. Not gonna have enough for the school. I'll have to go back and grab a spare.
Oh, well, why don't you finish the footage for the pump while I run back and grab you another battery?
You sure?
Well, yeah, it'll be faster. I've been in his house a few times. Where's it at?
In a dock on his desk next to his computer.
All right, I'll be back.
Do you think Kudzu looks at
At Leo's search
at Leo's
history?
search history?
Probably not. Kudzu's actually respectful of
Are you saying that Chase isn't a respectful individual?
looks at his browsing history and looks at the text on his phone.
Yeah,
That's not respectful.
I do it. And with that, Kudzu jogs off out of the brush and back onto the road. Within a minute, I feel like I have all the footage I can get out of the pump. I sigh and rub my face, glad to at least be out of the sun, but annoyed that I've gotten so little footage for it. And I'm doing this to hear what sounds like a gag behind me. I perk my ears and look back. I hear it again, but it's softer, more of a grunt than this time. I'm almost positive that Kudzu didn't go that way, but I can't imagine who else it would be. Kudzu? I wonder if maybe the heat was getting to... Yes, that's the reason, Chase.
Yeah, that is absolutely the reason.
I know how dangerous a heat stroke can be.
True.
Getting a little worried, I start moving further into the brush. Again, I hear a gag, and it's much louder this time. Cud, you alright? I start pushing deeper with a little more urgency, and not 20 yards in, I come into a clearing. The ground is covered in dead grass, and the sun hits me again with a vengeance. I blink furiously, eyes watering under the brightness of the clearing and the blazing red behind me, my eyelids. After a few seconds, I'm able to pry my eyes open. The first thing I notice is a peeling trailer to the right, pressing up against the trees. I have a vague memory of a trailer back here where a grumpy badger used to live. Straight in front of me is the meadow. In the meadow is a dead tree, one with dry, gnarled branches that twist up into the sky. The tree itself would be eerie enough, but it's what's under it that stops me dead. It takes a moment to comprehend what I see.
Okay.
Hanging from the lowest branch is a body, long and thinned, emaciated down to the skeleton.
What?
I remain rooted in the spot, my mouth hanging open. Disgustingly, my mind immediately goes to the camera. I mean, good footage is just good footage.
I mean, I guess?
I don't know why. Yeah, showing footage of a dead body to the whole class. I'd get an A for being edgy, or I'd fail for showing a fucking dead body. Probably expelled, actually. I feel my stomach start to turn, and I'm finally able to take my first step back. Then it moves.
What?
It's a quick jerk, one of the skeleton's hands reaching up spontaneously to its neck before slumping back down. Okay. With my eyes fully adjusting to the sun now, I recognize the body of the color of the fur, the build of that skeleton body, like...
Skeleton?
Clint?
Whoa! What?
On unsteady feet, I manage to stumble forward and reach out towards the ringtail, aiming to at least hold it up until I can shout Kudzu over to help. Somehow, though, he's able to spin and face me, his face expression of mortified fury. His eyes are almost glowing with how bloodshot they are, and his twisted muzzle is covered in drool, leaking down his chin onto his chest.
Get back. Leave.
What, Clint? What the hell are you doing? Well, he's hanging in a tree.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's fine. I move forward again, but Clint lashes out with a foot, hitting me in the knee. That's when I see his toes are barely touching the ground, at least barely. I stare in confusion and look back up at Clint's furious eyes.
Fucking leave!
Spit flies from his muzzle, so as I take a step back, completely at a loss for words. I don't... His bulging eyes move from mine to over my shoulder, and an enraged expression melts eyes, growing wider. Slowly, I turn around, and my vision is filled with a mountain of brown fur. My eyes take a moment to draw out and focus, and when they do, I realize that I'm actually looking at a bear.
Like a wild animal bear or a person?
A huge one, even for a bear.
Is this a person?
Huge, naked, and carrying a long, thin branch. The bear stands in the direction I'd come from, grinning stupidly at me.
Okay, so it's a person.
Yeah. Instinctively, my eyes, I widen my stance, eyes looking left and right. All reason had seemingly left the land of Echo, and now my brain is left to try and put the pieces of this crazy place together. I watch as a huge tongue sticks out from between the blubbery lips to lick at them, slimily.
He's got a slimy
between
mouth.
the gaps of his missing teeth. Once he's done with that, he breaks out into a grin again, those black lips shimmering under the sun.
Are we gonna see him?
You can voice him.
This a friend, cat?
The weirdly high-pitched voice is about as startling as his size.
Okay, it's high pitched. Okay.
I look back at Clint, who's still struggling to stand on his toes, clutching at the rope.
So hard finding a good switchback there, but now it's worth it if there's two he is.
The squeak that comes out of my muzzle seems to perk the bear's stubby ears, and he licks his lips again, and as he eyes me up and down. I should get going. Sorry about seeing. Words fail me as the bear takes a step forward, and I start sidestepping, prepping myself to make a run for it. The bear mimics my stance, and my stomach droops as I see him taking another step forward. I change my trajectory and back away instead. This time he doesn't follow me, just grinning as he watches me move back into the brush. Clint struggles at the end of the rope, twirling around lazily as he tries to get a foothold. I get one last look at his face as he spins around, and I'm struck by his expression. For a moment, I'm 9 years old again, running behind the buildings on Main Street, probably from imagining foreign agents of some kind. When I hide behind a tree next to Clint's house, I hear a screen door open, and for several minutes, I watch Clint breathing deeply into a rag. I'm too young to understand, but for some reason I know it's not good. When I finally decide to run from my hiding spot, Clint looks up and we meet eyes. His are wide and wild, confused and hurt, just like now. I stumbled into the bush, finally feeling like I'm far enough away to turn and really make a run for it. Kutsu is standing next to the pump when I get back, holding a battery.
What?
I grab his arm and yank it towards the road. Come on. I mutter it under my breath before jogging down the road. Kutsu's close behind, looking over his shoulder. It's not until we're at the end of the road, turning onto Main Street, before I'm able to slow myself down and tell Kutsu what happened.
Holy shit. That's Brian.
Who? I'm still panting, sweating heavily in the heat after the short jog down the street.
Big-ass bear that lives in the brush, right? He has a trailer in there.
I don't know him. Did he move here after I left? I thought a badger lived in that trailer.
I assume so. He was here when I got here.
Well, what the fuck was he doing? What the hell did I see? I don't know, something. Things. My mind is still trying to process it.
I don't have the answer. Can't say I'm surprised, though.
Are you serious? That's like the most fucked up thing I've ever seen. Kutsu smirks.
Well, I guess I would have to have been there, huh?
I stare at him. Yeah, I guess.
But from what I know of Brian, he's dumb and violent. Pretty sure he came here because he caused too much trouble in Peyton.
It's Clint's that's the fucked up part. He's a fucking homophobe, and he's doing that shit?
I don't know much about Clint either, but what I do know is that Brian is his dealer.
Really?
Well, really the entire town's dealer.
It made sense that Clint would need one in Echo, considering he was banned for life from driving after getting, like, 3 DUIs. But I thought Jeremy did that. Carl told me that's where he gets his weed. Kazuya shrugs again.
I assume Clint is using more than just marijuana.
Huh? It's becoming clear that what kind of relationship Clint and that bear have. I shudder, just wishing that I hadn't had to witness it. I already feel bad for Clint, but now...
Shoo.
Kudzu holds out the battery still in his hand.
Want to move to the school?
Yeah, let's do that. The next hour is pretty uneventful, though I do get enough footage to the point where I'm satisfied. There is a point where I notice Duke down the road. He stands there for a while, watching us as I get different angles of the school. It's annoying, but even though he's a complete fuck-up, he likes to pretend he's in control of things in Echo. Probably just promoted himself to sheriff of the town in his mind or something.
Which guy is Duke?
Duke was the other weasel-looking guy. With, like, the blue sleeveless hoodie thing.
I think are we going to get to see him? I don't know if
I don't know him. He's the one that you meet before Clint jumps Leo that one night.
Okay. Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I ignore him, though, and the next time I look up, he's gone. I turn my attention back to the project, finally able to accumulate how much work I actually have left. Now most of my work is going to happen the night before the due date.
Naturally.
Of course. I feel like that's how it always is, though.
That's the life, man.
They're like, you have 3 months to do this project, and I'm like, wrong. I have 24 hours the night before.
Facts.
I swallow, stomach churning at the thought. On the bright side, all of the stress is pushing the memories of Clint being hanged and whispering out of my mind. And whipped, that's what I meant. Later on, I'm finally get another text from Leo, just before my phone dies.
Heading back.
Okay. I'm hungry. We should meet at the diner.
Sure.
Reasonable. I invite Kudzu to come along, but he tells me that he can't stand diner food, and that he was gonna go fishing anyway. It's too bad, because I've really been enjoying the raccoon's company, and fishing sounds relaxing. Well...
It is.
Do Flynn's route. You go fishing in it.
Cool. Fishing's good.
I try to exchange numbers with the raccoon, but my phone dies the moment I turn it on.
Rip.
Kudzu takes my number, though, and promises to text me. I feel better walking to the diner, but then I remember what happened with Leo, and what I might have to do. Should I bring it up now? Yes.
You know, it's interesting that, like, all of the correspondence about, like, planning to do things, like, let's all hang out, and, like, what's Chase doing? They don't text Chase, they text Leo to ask.
Well, because Leo's planning everything.
I mean, I guess.
So, I guess, in theory, that makes sense. Also, we don't know whether or not Chase has his phone on all the time, or if it's
I would
just
assume
dead.
that he does.
I don't know, Chase could be like me, and my phone's just dead 90% of the time.
I mean, I guess so.
I don't even know where it'll end up going. Could I even trust him again? Yes. Leo's not in the diner when I get there. I pick up I pick up a booth. No, I can read, I swear.
I believe you.
Towards the back, resting my head against the patchy cushion and closing my eyes. That's real. I kind of missed, like, you know, that restaurant wasn't there for that long, but Athenians had, like, patchy seats. And I don't know,
nice.
I almost thought that was comforting.
It was pleasant. It was such a comfy place.
The weeks gone by so fast. It feels like only yesterday which is a pretty good Ghibli film that no one's ever watched, that we
Oops.
actually got here. Thinking back, I remember worrying that everything was gonna be awkward, that our past would catch up to in the worst way possible. I mean, and it kind of
did.
Yeah,
There you go.
See, okay, Chase. He's on top of things.
He's on the level.
Yeah.
He's aware.
We didn't fix or talk about anything. Yeah, Flynn hasn't physically shown up since Monday, has he?
Not since he left at the lake.
Amazing.
Or no, the party.
Oh shit! Yeah, the party happened.
No, the not party happened.
The not party. But who ate the red velvet cake?
Me.
Alright, that sounds reasonable. That gives me a jolt in realization and sadness. The whole time I've been preoccupied with Leo the way that it should be, and Leo with me. Wasn't Leo the one that was all about concerned about us not keeping the pack together?
He doesn't care about the pack. He just cares about you,
He does in
Chase.
theory. He does in theory.
In theory.
This send-off feels empty and pointless. It's really the last time I might get to hang out with some of them. Mainly Jenna and TJ. These aren't losses, though.
Dang.
And TJ had the most shit to air out. Did I fuck up by basically ignoring him the whole time? No, you did the right thing. You just
You dodged a major bullet,
ignore
bro.
the little bitch. I feel a lump in my throat as I think about the hike I never went on with him. Sure, I figured things out with Leo, at least temporarily. Very temporarily, actually. Things are in jeopardy again. And now it feels like things I should have talked about with the others have been buried further. Even though I haven't seen the others for a few days, I can feel their resentment knowing that Leo and I got all we wanted. Or at least what I thought I wanted. Especially after leaving them to deal with the fallout of Flynn's meltdown. And now because of that, it'll be harder to reach the root of the problem, harder to talk about it. And because of that, we probably never will. I glance at my... Oh, okay. Oh, look, he's got his little face. Okay. I glance at my dead phone, reminded of the complete lack of text from anyone other than Leo. I suppose this is life. Sometimes things are buried and never talked about again. And in a way, I guess that's for the best. Sydney's death will die with us. It just sucks that we all carry it, but can't rely on each other for support. I take a deep breath, wondering how long it will take me to process this whole trip. I don't know, maybe a few years. I don't know.
Maybe, therapy will help, probably. Hopefully.
He already goes to therapy.
Good. Therapy's a good thing.
Nah, it sucks. As someone who's never went to therapy.
Speaking as someone who's never gone to therapy, it's terrible.
See, if I don't need it, that means it's an unnecessary part of life. Like food and water.
We'll let you live. We'll let you live there for now. We'll let you have it. It's fine.
Or maybe my entire life up to this point. This moment, whatever. It's at this point I notice Janice hasn't come out to take my order. That's probably fine. The diner itself is completely quiet. No old rockabilly.
It's a genre of music.
Okay, coming out in the staticky speaker. I look around, wondering if maybe the place is closed. I remember a few businesses didn't lock their doors.
Nice.
That's how you know it's a small town.
Small town.
Mostly because of negligence, employees.
Yep.
Because burglary is somewhat common here. I look through the plastic window in the in the swinging door of the kitchen, past the counter, and notice that the fluorescent lights are definitely on. In fact, it looks like I can see more movement from shadows on the wall. I think about getting up and knocking on the door to let them know I'm here, but that's when the front door opens. Leo comes in, a big grin on his face.
Oh boy. Chula.
He's a great guy. Leo did nothing wrong. My stomach twists as he sweeps up next to my side, and I can't help but jerk it away when he kisses at my cheek. He pulls back, frowning.
Chase?
I sigh, not able to meet his eyes. Leo, I need to talk to you about something.
Going right for it, damn.
Immediately, I can tell the worry in his eyes. He steps back, watching me.
What?
Sit down.
Why?
Because it's more comfortable. Leo asks, but sits down anyway. First off, I have to tell him what I looked at, his fucking phone, and that's bad enough. I look to the right, heart pounding.
Otter, what is it?
His voice is soft, but I can hear the slight tremble in it. Leo, I looked at your phone.
What?
I jump as Leo's hackles raise and his bares his teeth. It's not an angry reaction, more defensive, fearful. Leo.
Why the fuck would you do that?
Because I'm a nosy ass bitch.
Facts. Facts.
I shrink back, looking down at as I listen to his breathing pick up. I'm sorry, but I knew what I saw. But yeah.
Fuck, man.
Leo puts his face in his hands, which gives me an opportunity to look up. His ears are down, drooping towards the table. Why did you do that? I wait while Leo continues to hide his face, his body rocking.
Not now.
Not now what?
You can't do this to me now. Not after.
I didn't do anything. You're the one texting people that I didn't give a fuck about them. I mean, but you don't, though. His head snaps up, then, and I see his eyes glistening.
I didn't say that. I just said you were busy.
And what you said to TJ. Leo winces at that one and slumps back into his booth, his face dejected, desperate.
Please, Chase. Just try to understand. Ooh, look at that.
Yeah.
Nice.
What? I let some anger into my voice, wanting to show Leo that I'm not gonna forgive him just because he's sad, but you will. And I think he realizes that because his face changes, lips barred out of anger this time.
Yeah, I'm real fucking guilty, aren't I?
Yeah, you are.
Says the asshole that just ditches me, avoids me, won't talk to me.
I don't say anything in response. It's because you know you're fucking guilty.
And you wonder why I'm fucked up about this? You're the one that just walked out and left me.
I was young.
Yeah, you keep saying that like you're not young now. If you had actually dumped me, then maybe I wouldn't be this fucking messed up about it.
The last sentence escalates into a scream, and I flatten back into the booth, glaring up at him. Leo has never hurt me before, and I'm not afraid he will now. I've endured plenty of his tantrums. Do you know how crazy this makes you look?
Oh great, you too.
I'm serious, this is fucking unacceptable. I'm drawing the line here. Leo's snarling face turns up, and that's when I hear movement behind me. I turn to my seat, and I see Janice striding out from behind the counter. The kitchen door swings shut behind her.
Janice?
Leo's flare flattens back down into his like he's forgotten all about our argument. It makes sense why. Something's wrong. Janice has been acting strange all week, gradually looking more haggard and pissed off as time went on. Of course, I hadn't forgotten about what happened on the side of the road a few days back.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep. But I'd been content with just assuming it had been some type of drug-fueled adventure of hers. Now I'm convinced she's having a mental breakdown. Her fur is mussed up. Okay.
Yeah.
And every inch of her up on her eyes are wide and wild, similar to how Clint's were earlier. Blood is smeared across her apron. Okay, and and the handle of a knife sticking out of the front pocket.
Janice, are you okay?
Leo's half standing. I'm not sure if it's because he's afraid of her or of her. Oh, for her or of her. Okay. She doesn't say something. She doesn't say anything. And as she saddles. Yeah, this word doesn't exist to me. I don't understand it. Up next to our booth, I slide a bit towards the inside. What, and make it harder for you to get out?
To get out, right?
Oh, Jesus, Chase. Under her wild gaze, I'm feeling a little trapped.
Janice?
Why are you all shouting? A little impatient? Let me take your order and I'll get you settled.
Are you okay? Are you cooking?
Leo gazes at her apron. Yes, I'm cooking today. What can I make you? I get the unnerving feeling that she isn't even looking at us. Leo glances back at me, to which I respond with a bewildered look of my own.
I think we might...
Nonsense! I've just got everything fired up in the kitchen. Leo doesn't respond, just staring at the big coyote. Janice smiles crookedly. Well, if you're not gonna order something, I'll just make your favorite. With that, she turns and starts waddling off, having not even acknowledged me. What the fuck? I reach into my pocket, thinking about calling an ambulance for the poor woman until I remember my phone's dead.
Oopsie.
Whoops. I whisper over to Leo. Should we leave?
Maybe.
But Leo doesn't move, just staring after Janice. I look out the window to a sun-baked road. Have you noticed that something's off?
About Janice? No shit.
Not just her, the whole town. I think about mentioning the meadow with Clint and Brian, but I'm still trying to absorb that. Yeah, we'll just put a pin in that.
Yeah, we'll put a pin in it. We'll come back there.
Leo sits back, still looking back at the kitchen door where Janice disappeared.
Honestly, people act so crazy here. I don't know if it's because of drugs or because they're actually crazy.
I see his nose twitch. Man, this is a great way for them to just completely avoid all the issues.
Yeah, right? And I don't think she knows how to cook. Something smells funny in there.
I look back out the window, wondering if I should bring up our argument again. Probably,
Yeah.
You should probably settle that argument, actually.
Might be a good idea. But it'll be fine. Things will work out fine.
That scene with Janice totally threw me off, and I'm reluctant to waste more energy on yelling. It has to be brought up again somehow. We can't just let it sit like this. It's clear that that's exactly what Leo's wants. I don't know. It's clear that's exactly what Leo wants, though. So I huff and stare out the window. This fucking town. I haven't been paying much attention to it in the past few days. Been too infatuated with Leo. Sure, I'd seen some weird things, but it seems in my absence, everyone's gone to the fucking wacky shack. That is such a weird way to phrase that, but okay. I look at Leo. Have you been noticing anything, any of this weird shit going on? Leo sighs.
Again, I never know what's weird here or not. I guess I've noticed a few things.
I frown. Were you just hoping I wouldn't notice? Leo doesn't say anything. Instead, he just goes on staring at the kitchen. Would he really just let me blindly move to this town where he knows everyone was going crazy?
Yes, he would.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, there are nice people here. You have
Kudzu's there.
Kudzu.
He's pretty cool.
Right? I've exhausted my list.
End of list.
Looking out the window, I notice a figure moving up the street, jogging. A feline. TJ. Is that Teach? Leo glances out the window.
Looks like it. Out for a jog, of course.
The wolf turns his attention back to the counter as Janice comes out, a messy, dribbling, milkshake in her hand.
Hey, Janice, what are you cooking back there?
I glance at the crazy Kai. At least, it's crazy. Okay, we're just gonna call her crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. As she waddles over to us, staring at the milkshake with wide eyes. Oh, meat. Leo lets out a hollow laugh.
What kind of meat?
Hopefully deer. I'll be honest with you. It's it's kind of tough and stringy.
Okay. I just had the worst moment of deja vu, ever.
Uh-huh.
We've read this exact part that's going on. We've never played this before. You just read this. Oh my god, this is weird. I feel weird.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Is Echo getting to you?
We've definitely been here. We're going in circles, Josh.
No, you're going in circles. I'm just here because Leo's here.
Oh, damn. That's spooky. Did you read this one?
Yeah,
you did read this.
Yeah. I lose interest in their conversation and instead look back at TJ, who's doing great. I feel like something's off for sure. He's ways away, but he looks kind of afraid. One of his arms is reaching out to bat at something. That's just TJ. That's how
part
he
of his
always
routine,
is. He's just working on his arms while he's taking a jog. Yeah. Something's wrong. I mutter it under my breath and start to stand, set on getting out of there to see what's going on with him. But at that moment, a truck pulls up into the parking lot right in front of the window. I find myself staring right at Duke. I also see something big in the back of his pickup, a brown furred head poking over the roof.
Oh, I hate this.
Duke? Leo snaps his head over to look out the window. As the weasel gets out of his truck, I see something in his hand. A gun.
Shit.
Just a normal day. Language, Leo. Think of the children.
He's bringing in a gun.
Leo reaches across the table for me. Not while I'm here.
Janice.
But she's already striding over towards the door, just as Duke pushes through them.
Chase, get down.
Duke spots us immediately. Well, if you're the only people here...
I told you not to fucking run away from me.
He starts towards our table, but Janice, on her way towards the kitchen, intercepts him. Duke, is that a gun? I'm not going to have you barging in here to ruin the peace. She sticks her bulky body in the way.
She's not even that bulky, though.
Okay, so they constantly tell you that she is overweight. So I'm assuming that's just it didn't quite translate to the design.
Yeah, is what it is. Get the fuck out of my way. I'm not saying that one.
Okay.
I don't like that word.
Language. It's as if Janice didn't notice that there's a fucking gun being waved around right in front of her face. No, she's just brave. Or she's that out of it, I guess. I reach out and grab Leo's arm, trying to pull him down. Call the police! My phone's dead! Well, whose fault is that, Chase? Jesus Christ.
Oh, but Leo's got his gun, too, I bet.
Does he?
I bet.
Does he?
I
Okay.
bet money.
Leo slowly sits, then looks around. The only exit is at the front. Why is there only one exit?
This is a shitty town diner. Who cares?
I mean, there's probably an exit in the back.
I mean, probably.
Okay.
You don't think those fuckers are behind all this? You've been seeing that otter around too, haven't you?
I'm not concerned about that anymore. I've made things right.
You're not fucking concerned about what happened to our grandparents is happening to us?
I won't ask you to leave again. Her voice is threatening. From the angle, I can't see her hands, but I see that she's reaching for something.
Oh, she's gonna gut him with her knife.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Chase, get down.
Leo's voice is bizarrely calm, but as he reaches over, I can feel him shaking. Yeah. He presses down on my shoulder as I'm about to slide under the table, I see Janice move forward. Then I cover my head and cower against the booth under the table. Leo shouts and yanks me up against his side, covering me with his arm. I hear him breathe heavily into my ear, and I stare wide-eyed from from under the booth, only able to see the a dirty bilge?
Beige.
Beige?
Yep, beige.
That is not how beige is spelled.
That is how beige is spelled.
Damn it, I only know the hex
English.
code for me.
Would you have been able to read it if it was just the hex code?
No, not at all.
Like you'd see the dirty, and it would be the hex code. You would just say beige. And you're like,
Yeah.
what? You freak.
Wouldn't that be funny, though?
That'd be awesome.
Wall opposite us. Leo's breathing is all I can hear. Otherwise, it's silent. Then I hear Duke muttering something under his breath, followed by soft, padding footsteps. A few seconds later, his legs come into view and his feet turn to face us. I see the gun dangling from one hand before he raises it slightly, pointing it at us. I close my eyes like a bitch. How did this happen? Just seconds ago, Leo and I were arguing, and now I'm about to fucking die. And Janice is already dead.
She's dead as hell, though.
Why didn't you save her?
You know, I'm just a terrible person, I guess. I'm just bad at games.
Oh my god. You know you could save her if you made different decisions during the route.
I don't believe you.
You can't save her.
Yeah, don't even fucking lie. How dare you? How dare you make me feel like I'm bad at this game?
I keep my eyes tightly closed, hugging to Leo as hard as I can and wait. But nothing happens. I can see my face press up against Leo's chest, though, wondering if I'm already dead. Duke finally speaks.
Leo, out. Otter, you stay there.
I feel Leo hesitate against me, then his lips press against my ears.
It'll be okay, baby. Just stay here.
Slowly, he untangles my arms from around him. Then, with his hands up, he pushes out from under the table and stands up.
Face the wall.
Leo hesitates and Duke growls.
I ain't gonna fucking kill you. We're just figuring out what's happening is all. Killing you doesn't fix anything. The last guy got killed and that didn't fix shit. You shot Janice. Cause she got in my fucking way. But it don't matter. Everything's fucked up now.
It's fine. Leo turns to face the wall slowly. I watch from the space between the table and the booth.
What do you want? To fix this fucking town. You're starting something with this otter. This is how all happened before.
Duke looks out the window and makes a come on motion with his hand.
We're gonna stop it from happening this time.
Leo looks to his left.
But you fucking killed Janice.
I hear the wolf's voice break slightly.
Won't matter in the long run.
The door rattles as someone comes in.
You got the zip ties? Hands behind your back, Leo.
Leo looks at whoever just came in.
Come on. Now! Oh, there he is.
Yeah. Look at
He's a tall lad.
He is a big boy. Slowly, Leo does as he's told, and I see a pair of massive paws reach forward to bind the wolf's wrists. I swallow hard as I watch Brian pull the zip tie tight. Duke puts a forearm on his nose.
Fuck you, Stink. I hope you didn't kill that ringtail. We could use him.
Brian just grins in response, his yellow teeth. My heart sinks as I think about Clint. He's probably fine.
He's probably fine.
Had he been warning me to run? Why had I thought that him hanging from the tree like that was probably just a normal thing for him and the bear? Just a normal Saturday for Clint. Was he a victim of whatever crazy has just hit the town? That must have been what was going on. All of this is hitting at once. It can't be a coincidence. Clint was probably just as scared as I am now.
grab the otter and tie him up too. Just stick him in your trailer for now.
My stomach drops. Duke gestures with his gun again.
Come on, out.
My legs are lead. I can't move. Leo looks over his shoulder at me, and the fear in his eyes scares me even more. His muzzle moves, mouthing something. Run. But still, I can't move. I've never been so scared in my life. It's like everything is numb. Brian doesn't care, though, and moves forward, the look on his face eager. The gun goes off again. Everyone, including Brian, jumps, and I hit the floor with my hands over my head.
Fuck! Fuck!
I look up and see Duke, eyes extra wild, dancing around, pointing the gun upwards at the ceiling.
Fuck, you seeing that? She's crawling around up there. I told you she's on my ceiling every night watching me.
Brian's looking up too, and for the first time, his face is twisted into an expression that isn't stupidly grinning. It's full of fear. But when I look up, I see nothing.
Chase!
Leo hisses at me, and that jolts me back into reality. Without even willing myself to do it, I shoot out from under the table. In front of are two exits. In front of me are two exits: the front door and the kitchen door, which is closer.
I'm gonna have to pick, aren't I?
There has to be an exit in the kitchen, but I'm not sure of that. My legs are already making me run, though, and I have to choose now.
You fucks. Oh. Okay, let's think about this. Okay, so if I run into the kitchen...
Yeah.
There might be an exit, there might not be an exit. We can presume there's an exit, because it's a kitchen in a diner. That's fine. The front doors...
But it's also Echo.
But, we're out, we run out the front doors. He could probably still just shoot me.
Yeah.
Dammu. This is the worst.
What?
Let's...
Try not to get Chase killed.
Should I make a save?
You might want to. I don't know.
Okay, I can go back.
Yeah.
We'll make a save.
Rotate your saves.
Shut the hell up. Goddamn rotate your saves bullshit. Let's go to the kitchen.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I have no idea how long Duke will be distracted, so I dive behind the counter for the closest exit.
Don't look back, Chase. Go as fast as you can. Shit, he's getting away, Brian.
I push past the swinging door and immediately slip.
Idiot.
One moment I'm standing, and the next I'm on the ground, face stinging from the smack into the tile. I stare barely at the ground, forcing myself to move again, and it's still so slippery.
Is it slippery with blood?
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh my god.
At first I think the tiles are just red, but then the overpowering metallic scent hit my nose, and I realize it's more than that. Blood is everywhere, and now I'm covered in it. I sob, wondering when the nightmare I'm in is going to end, when the paralysis will hit.
Fuck! Get her off me!
I force myself to move because I need to get the fuck out of here, dream or not. I slip and slide along the tiles, trying to stand, almost failing. I manage to grab the metal counter and yank myself up. And then I'm standing over the counter and over what's on top of it. A pile of meat. I can see fur, but it's a mound of unrecognizable parts. Butchered. Something is cooking on the stove. My stomach churns and I heave, but there's nothing in me to come up. A bang beside me forces me to turn to my right. I see the mountainous form of Brian charge through the door.
Does he slip too? Yeah.
He slips immediately, but his momentum still takes him forward, and he reaches out to me. Next thing I know is that I've been hit by a car and I'm flying back. I stop short of hitting the ground thanks to the wall beside me, and my head explodes.
Oh, did he die? Shit, did I kill him?
The darkness that surrounds me is painful. I feel like I'm floating in a black sea, and nothing about it is comforting or peaceful. It's like a fitful doze when you have a really bad fever. It feels awful and murky and sick. That's a lot of ands. And feel my head tilt back, and a lightning bolt arches through my head. I try to open my eyes, but they only manage to flutter, and I see flashes of red above me. Something is hooked under my head, and I'm dangling from it. I imagine a rope has tied me down, holding me above the darkness, the dark abyss below. Is this hell? I grit my teeth as the searing red becomes too much to look at, and I close my eyes again. This must be a nightmare, one that feels too real. I've had them before, and I know how to deal with them. I just need to go back to sleep, to drift off, and I'll wake up in my bed. Or Leo's bed, at least. Go back to sleep and wake up in my dorm. Wait. An echo. I try to prod back into my memories. Where was I last? What was the last thing that I remember doing?
Oh no.
Trying to remember in
Is monumental.
Monumental. Back then I could handle fortunately I drift back into unconsciousness. Ellipses. I'm pulled back into the sticky dark as something jolts my body. I grimace and gasp. I'm filled with such a feeling of unprovoked loneliness and despair that I actually feel my eyes watering, and a sob escapes my mouth. I hear a soft chuckle above me, and I go quiet. I still don't know where I am or what's going on at all, but that laugh is enough to tell me that I don't want to be where I am. The feeling of hanging from the rope is gone now. Instead, I'm laying on something flat and hard, and my arms and legs are spread out. The air is cool now, and my skin is cold and wet, like I've been sweating a lot.
Are they cutting him open? What is going on?
I don't know. The feeling is especially strong around my back, and I want to roll over, but I can't. Something is holding my arms down, and there's a rattling sound when I try to move. I moan and try to open my eyes again, though it's almost like they're glued shut. With a little more effort, I manage to crack one open. At first, all I see is a blur of colors above me, and I have to blink a few times to clear it. Slowly, the image comes together, and I'm able to make out that someone is there above me.
I hate this. What is happening?
I feel my blood run cold, realizing that someone has been watching me this whole time. But I'm lying down. How is someone on the ceiling?
I hate this.
I try to speak, but only a dry, crackling squeak comes out of my throat. At this point, my vision is cleared enough to make out an otter. An otter? I squint. A blue shirt, beige pants.
And no this is clearly the superior chase. The goatee is not there.
I gasp and reflexively try to draw back from the thing. Is it me? It smiles. It's missing my goatee. My superior goatee. The thing that makes me, me. It defines my character in every way. How? The flat surface I'm lying on tilts precariously. Did I even say that?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. And my stomach lurches. I try to clutch out at the surface, though there's nothing to grasp onto. I shut my eyes and gag as I feel my stomach swirling around inside me. All I can do is pray for it to stop, feeling like everything around me is about to fall over. The arch in my back and in my head, whatever, is magnified tenfold, and tears start to leak from my eyes. Just when I think I'm about to slip off the face of the earth, the ground starts to tilt back the other way. I swallow and gasp for air, my entire body shaking and sweating all over again. I feel like I've been swimming too long and my body is exhausted. What the hell is going on? I remember that someone was staring down at me from the ceiling, and I open my eyes again, fearful.
Yo.
I cringe as I see that same otter staring back down at me. The otter that's clearly wearing the same clothes as I am. And now it's not smiling. A tear-stained expression is on its face. It's a mirror. A mirror on the ceiling? I try to sit up, but come up short, gagging as something tightens around my neck. I try to move in my hands to whatever it is, and that doesn't work either. The same rattling sound I heard earlier makes me look towards my right hand, and what I see makes my blood freeze.
Is his hand gone?
No. Around my wrist, it looks like there's leather straps. I desperately look to my other hand and find the same result. What did you fucking think? I feel like I would just assume.
Right.
No, we're gonna restrain one hand.
One hand.
But not the other.
No, that way you can try to get away. It's important.
It will give you a fighting chance. Looking at my feet, I see some contraptions fixed to my ankles. And when I try to lift one off of my feet, I see metal glinting underneath, making me think that the leather is bolted into the platform.
Duh.
And that makes sense, though.
I mean, yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Panic rises in my chest, and I kick my feet and try to flail my hands, but the strap holds firm into what looks like a wooden plank, which is the platform that I'm laying on. They're arranged in a way to leave me spread eagle. Over the leather, I can smell all the musk, though the strong one reminds me of Clint. I try to lift up my head, but the thing around my neck is too tight, and it instantly makes me choke again. My head throbs. Tears start to form in my eyes again as I try to think back. Where the fuck am I? Is this a plank of some kind? Maybe my friend's at the dorm trying to scare me. Oh, that's cute. He thinks he's in Pueblo.
Aww.
Had I been drinking at a party? No, wait, I'm an Echo. That's the last place I remember being. I'm here for a project, and I'd been with my old friends. I was with Leo, and I'd been at the diner. Suddenly, all the horrible things that had happened that day come rushing back. Janice, Clint, Brian, the gun. Oh my god.
Oh, his mouth open.
Yeah, he's...
The portrait changes.
Had that really happened? Well, clearly. I struggle a bit more than try to think. I had run to Leo's house. Leo, I don't know what happened to him. I left him with Duke.
You hadn't run to Leo's house. You ate shit in the kitchen.
And then Brian, he'd been chasing me and tried to break in. I start to breathe heavily again, and I realize where I might be. Brian got into the house when I was in Leo's room, and he attacked me. I look around. I'm in a small room, what looks like a living room of some kind. There's a couch to my right and a wall with a clock on it to the left, ticking away. What time is it?
Yeah.
There's a window too, and along with the ticking, the wind blows outside and is the only other sound that I can hear. Looking down towards my legs, I can see what looks like a tiny kitchen with some cupboards, and a countertop. Dishes and junk are piled high along the lengths of the counter, and it smells like cigarette smoke. You're just smoking inside your house? Like...
Well, I mean, look at this place.
Yeah, well... Even these people should have standards. of not smoking in the house.
Okay. Everything else is fine, but
Yeah, everything else is fine,
smoking?
but smoking
Nuh-uh.
inside,
Not
you
allowed.
could. The fire detector could go off. That would just be a hassle. Judging by the layout and size of the place, it looks like I'm in a trailer home. A small moan of terror escapes my lips. I'm in Brian's house. I remember Cud telling me that he lived in one. Tears start leaking out from my eyes again. Jesus Christ, how much are you going to cry in this one scene? Even though the crying is making my head throb all over again. All I can think about is what he was doing to Clint. No, I have to calm down. I didn't want attention to attract any attention if he's actually nearby. After what happened in the diner, the cops have to be on their way, if they hadn't already. People eat in that diner all the time. One of my friends, probably would find it and call someone. I just have to wait until they find me. I swallow again, feeling my body break out into a cold sweat over and over. What is going on? They wanted something from us. I remember that, at least. But what? Duke had been saying something about seeing things and that we might be responsible. I squeeze my eyes shut and shake my head, but then immediately stop when my head throbs from the moment. None of this makes sense and makes any sense at all. Am I still dreaming? At that moment, I hear a soft mumble in the distance through the thin wall of the trailer. I freeze and hold my breath. It's a little ways off, but I'm almost positive that it's Duke. The high, weaselly whine mixed with the occasional smoker's cough is unmistakable. It's coming closer, and I can start to make out what he's saying.
Because we're already fucked here. You think we can just let them go and it'll all be fine?
Yeah. I don't know who he's talking to, but the sound of an accompanying heavy, lumbering step gives me an idea.
It's worth it, though, if we can figure out what the fuck is going on.
It sounds like they're right up against the trailer now. I can hear them walk around it towards the small door on the right side of the kitchen.
Leo ain't saying shit yet, but I think it might be the otter. He's the one I seen last week.
The footsteps stop in front of the door, and I listen hard, my heart pounding in my chest.
I hope you haven't done anything to him. I didn't.
Brian's uncharacteristically high-pitched voice sends a chill down my spine. My fur flared out with it.
You bet your ass you haven't. If you do any of your fucked up shit to him.
I stop breathing, staring up at my terrified expression in the mirror.
What I'm saying is we still got a chance to get out of this. Oops, shit. Okay, we're fine. What we've done is bad enough, but if we can get him to understand.
They stop talking, and that's when I hear Brian's heavy, labored breathing. I'm not breathing at all, although that they'll be able to hear it even if they already know I'm here. I let out with a gasp as the door suddenly swings open and Duke comes up the steps, looking around before spotting me.
Brian, you are one sick fuck.
I tense up as a massive shadow appears behind him, and it feels like the entire trailer tips a bit as Brian makes his way up the steps. Brian's presence is as imposing and frightening that I didn't even notice that Duke is already right next to me. I jump as he sits his hand on my left arm. I jerk my head to look at him, wide-eyed.
Hey, calm down. We ain't gonna hurt you.
Yeah, sure. Brian chuckles, and Duke shoots him a look.
Oh my god.
He turns his attention back to me, softening his expression, at least as much as he can with his scraggly, drug-fucked face.
We just need to get some information from you.
I open my mouth to speak, but all that comes out is a dry squeak. Brian chuckles again and makes his way to stand to my right. I cringe away from him and his stench of old sweat, and as he grins down at me with his yellow teeth.
Brian, get some fucking water.
Brian looks at Duke with a strange face before turning back to the kitchen.
Hey, don't worry about him. I know this thing.
Duke taps on one of the boards with his finger.
Looks bad, but we gotta hold you here for a bit. He's a queer. He likes it. Wow. What a jerk. He can die.
Duke glares at him as Brian comes back from the kitchen with a ceramic mug. This is just how they talk to one another.
I guess so.
Brian visibly bristles as his face loses any of the sick humor it once had. Duke clears his throat.
Things have been happening here, and we want to find out why.
What? Duke furrows his brow like a child trying to figure out something difficult.
You see, people ain't right in the head here.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
No shit.
There you go.
Duke seems to immediately read my thought process because he holds up his hands and shakes his head.
Yeah, I know. What we're doing ain't exactly right in the head either.
Brian gives his dumb chuckle again, but I keep my face averted from him, partly because I really can't stand the smell.
But we're all a little fucked up here. What I'm talking about is something else, like what you saw with Janice.
I shift a little as I'm reminded about what happened at the diner. Is she dead? Duke looks genuinely sad.
I don't know, and it's a damn shame, but you saw the way she came at me. That's the shit I'm talking about.
I look at the weasel's waistband, that's right, and immediately see the handgun tucked into his pants there.
And I was hoping to stop it before any of this happened, but now everything's gone to shit.
Brian finishes for him, and I can feel him move closer to the platform I'm laying on. Again, I avoid eye contact, not wanting to provoke him in any way.
Yep, and it's only gonna get worse.
Duke just looks at me like that's all the information that I need. I don't know what you're talking about. I see a twitch of irritation in Duke's face and I hold my breath. I mean, what's happening out there? Duke shakes his head.
What's happening everywhere? It wasn't just Janice that lost her mind.
Duke looks back out the window suddenly, his fur standing on end. I look too, but all I see is the leaves and branches of the late afternoon sun filtering through them. Duke's quiet for a while before he stares, speaking again without turning again.
It happened to my granddaddy, my daddy. Now it's happening to me.
I close my eyes, wondering if Duke is just as crazy as Janice was. If he does, I doubt he even has a clue what he's doing right now.
Dale's missing. Cynthia drove off into the desert.
Duke turns around to look at me.
We saw your cat friend running down the street on the way here, saying someone is after him.
TJ.
Thing is, we've all got something after us. Something bad. Won't let you leave when it starts. What's after you?
I flinch as Brian speaks just above me, leaning down towards my face. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Bullshit!
I flinch again as Duke's concerned demeanor immediately drops again.
Why do you think we came to get Leo and you?
He pauses, like I should actually know the answer. I feel myself starting to panic again, with these two crazy hillbillies looming over my body. I don't know what. Duke slaps me and I gasp in shock.
Dang. I saw you hanging around this fucking town before you even got here, late at night, lurking around.
I'm still, cringing?
Cringe.
I forgot there's a G. From the slap, and I keep my eyes closed, as if not seeing any of this is going to make it stop.
And then once all your friends get here, all hell breaks loose.
You think that's a fucking coincidence?
Yes. It's quiet for a moment, and all I can hear is the rush of blood in my ears. Is this really happening? I feel Duke touch my arm again, and I flinch in fear.
Hey.
I feel like he wants me to look at him, so I slowly open my eyes, tears spewing out as I do. The blurry shape of Duke dances in front of me.
I'm not saying you did it, or that you wanted it to happen.
I don't say anything because I still don't know what he's talking about, but I know I can't tell him that.
It's just that you gotta know something, anything, so we can stop this.
Duke stares to pet my arm, and I shiver. Brian's breathing heavily next to me, and a glance at him shows that his expression is more interested now, almost eager. Duke still hasn't answered my question. It makes no sense that they'd go so far as to kidnap us. But why? Why didn't you just ask us? Why all of this? I lift my hands weakly, making the platform rattle. Duke's face darkens.
Because I've been asking Leo all week what the fuck you guys are doing, and he wouldn't say shit.
Duke stops petting my arm and scratches behind his head.
And, someone told me that you would know.
I stare at him. Who?
Someone I know, and it makes sense. Something bad happens and you don't fix it, it won't stop coming after you.
I shut my eyes and almost sob.
It says they know, and I thought it had to be Leo or you, considering what we've been seeing these past few weeks.
Duke pauses.
Or maybe one of your other friends.
My mind briefly flashes to TJ. Oh, why?
I wonder why.
I don't know what you're talking about. I wait for another slap, but it doesn't come. I open my eyes again, and Duke is looking back out the window.
We're kind of protecting you, too.
I stare at the back of his head.
Things are getting worse out there, and if we don't figure something out soon, we're all gonna die.
Duke's voice is dead and distant. Brian, though, touches my other arm, and I gasp, shrinking away. He smirks down at me, looking at my stomach or crotch, somewhere around there.
Brian, stop.
Duke is turning back around, looking over me at the bear.
We're not getting anywhere right now, and I gotta get back to the wolf.
Even though Duke is the one that hit me, I'm terrified at the thought of being left alone with Brian. Duke sees my face.
Don't worry, Chase. Even though you're lying to us, I don't plan to let this pervert have his way with you.
Brian snorts.
Brian knows what will happen if he does.
Okay. Duke gives Brian a cold, callous stare, and this time Brian doesn't give his stupid grin back.
But you'd better hope your fuck buddy says something soon, because if not, we might have to get mean.
Duke heads for the door, turning to look over his shoulder.
Just feed him and make sure he doesn't escape. That's it.
And with that, Duke briskly disappears out the door, and a golden flash of afternoon light lighting up the dim trailer. Brian and I listen to the weasel's soft, anxious footsteps receding into the distance. As soon as the sound is gone, Brian stands up. I turn my head in time to see him whirl around and smash his fist into the wall. I jump as much as I can and in my restraints before he does it again, this time slamming both of his fists against the wall.
Jeez.
He's an angry boy.
He's really angry.
He's screaming. He screams so loudly my ears immediately start ringing. I think he's talking to me, so I brace myself for what I'm sure is gonna be the worst moment of my life. But he stalks right past me, not even looking at me. Instead, he strides, yeah,
Yep.
up to the kitchen counter. Once there, he picks up a dirty pan, then raises it over his head before bringing it down with a crash. What?
Okay.
I hear glass shatter before he does it again and again.
Goddamn cocksucking piece of shit.
He throws the pan across the room and crashes it into the wall.
I'll fucking kill him. What is he so angry about?
Well, he's just an angry bear.
He is so angry.
I stare at him, my eyes wide as I watch him stamp his feet like a little kid. Then he slaps himself across the face twice. After that, he closes his hand into his fist and punches himself in the face repeatedly.
Jeez, guy.
With a force that would have knocked me out cold. It might be funny if I wasn't tied down to a contraption in the trailer belonging to Brian. Brian stumbles after what seems like the fifth blow and covers his face. His massive shoulders shake with sobs.
Thinks he can do whatever the fuck he wants. Thinks he can boss me around.
Brian whirls around and slams both his fists into the counter several more times, the sound of shifting glasses accompanying it.
I'll kill him. Kill him. Kill him!
His voice crescendos in pitch and volume before he finally slumps against the counter. Head in his hands, and he starts crying again. I breathe as quietly as I can, not wanting to draw attention to myself.
I'll get him. I'll fucking get him. Won't control me no more.
Suddenly, his quaking shoulders freeze. Slowly, he turns with a sinking heart. I realize he's looking right at me. The fur on his cheeks, already matted before, are now flatter and shiny with wet. Snot running from his nose down to his upper lip. Then I see red dripping from his left fist. The fur on the right is matted with blood as well. He watches me for a while, then grins.
Am I funny to you?
I open my mouth, but nothing comes out. He suddenly strides up to the end of my platform, standing between my spread legs. I feel numb, but the fear taking up every fiber of my being. I feel nothing else.
You like seeing him make fun of me?
I try to speak again, but still nothing comes out. I swallow. No. My lips tremble and my voice shakes. I've never stuttered so hard in my life.
You know what I'd do to you if I could?
Brian stares down at me, the wet fur on his cheeks bristling out.
Oh, I swear to God, I'd fucking tear your balls off right fucking now.
What a guy. He rests a huge hand on my crotch and presses down.
Why? Why are you doing this?
I cringe and whine. Please. Brian's grin only gets bigger as he rubs his crotch with his hand as he watches me wince.
Oh, good. You already know how to beg.
He leans forward towards my face, moving his hand to clamp over my mouth.
And then I'd hang you for hours.
I stare at him, breathing hard through my nose, tears leaking down the sides of my face. His hand slides down from my mouth to my neck, and he starts to squeeze.
Then I'd give you a little stool to stand on when you start to go out. Then I'd kick it away again.
I gasp and gag, both from the squeezing from his reeking breath. He stares hard at me, and I can feel his crotch grinding up against mine. He's hard. Well, thanks for the observation, Chase.
Thanks, I guess.
Then he blinks and slowly pulls back. He watches me gasp and sob for a while before reaching down again. I try to turn my head away, letting out a moan of terror. But he doesn't grab my neck again. Instead, he prods and teases the fur, checking the skin on my neck.
Better not bruise. That fucking cocksucker saw that.
His expression darkens again.
If you fucking tell Duke about this.
He raises his fist and I cringe. No, I won't, I swear. I turn my head away, eyeing his raised fist. He holds it there for a while, watching me. He seems to be calculating something, like he's wondering if he can get away with what he's about to do. Then he seems to make up his mind.
Good.
With that, he slams his fist down right into the center of my torso, just below the ribs. With my vision flashes, and I hear a rasping, droning wheezing that I realize is coming from my mouth. It goes on and on until there's no air left in me, and then I can't breathe in again. My vision goes black, and as I suffocate, writhing against the restraints, waiting to curl up into a little ball and disappear. It feels like an hour, days, before I finally get a sip of air. My mouth gapes, as I try to suck it in faster. Brian is standing over me, and I'm somehow surprised that he's got a worried look on his face. He probably thinks he's killed me. But then my stomach starts to turn and lurch. Before I even realize I'm about to puke, a gush of vomit fills my mouth and I start to choke. Shit! Brian hurries to my side as I'm giving a second heave mixed with a gag. He tips the platform over sideways. His huge paws pushes my face into the side to look at the ground, and I watch as it spills out into an ugly shag carpet. When I finish, Brian slowly tilts the table back up, looking at me with disgust. At this point, I'm too tired to cry. Instead, I lay there in a daze, occasionally hacking or coughing. Brian goes into the kitchen, rustling around a while before returning with water and paper towels. He wipes my face and nose before tilting my head up to drink the water.
Rinse and spit.
He holds the mug there until I do as he says, then he gets down to his knees. I watch his head bob up and down as he busies himself with the mess on the floor, muttering about Duke finding out. I'm too numb to really care right now, though. Right now, I'm starting to realize that I might not survive this. That's gonna be your responsibility.
Shoot. Well,
Brian
damn.
calms down pretty quick after his tantrum. Once he cleans up the mess, he splays out on the couch and watches TV. It's some kind of cartoon about a pink cat, and he actually laughs at all of the juvenile jokes.
Is it Pink Panther?
I
Is
don't
that the
know.
joke?
I kind of thought the same thing.
I mean, it could be.
It could be. Isn't Snagglepuss pink?
Yeah, he is. That's right.
Yeah.
Could be him.
I immediately thought Snagglepuss. But,
Okay.
he's a lion, right?
Yes.
The lion who acts, wasn't that it? I don't know. While this goes on, I lay quietly against my platform, trying not to cry again.
Yeah, because he was the exit, stage left.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was him. Okay, yeah.
My mind keeps wandering back for just hours ago. How everything seemed fine for the most part. I keep wishing I could go back to the beginning of the week. Thinking about that makes me sentimental, and I'm longing to see Leo, TJ, Carl, Jenna, and even Flynn again. Even Flynn. Where are they all now? Suffering out during the mass hysteria, probably. But Carl's probably doing fine, actually.
Yeah.
Because he's just at his house.
Yeah, he's just hanging out. He's probably just seeing things are going
Duke
crazy.
said things were bad out there. Are they all in sort of trouble? If that's the case, the cops should be here by now. Someone should have gotten the word out, wouldn't they? If people were murdering each other like what happened to Janice, there's no way they wouldn't be the case. Brian lets out another explosive laugh, wiggling his feet on the armrest of the couch. Earlier, he tried to feed me some dried cereal, but it was like cardboard in my mouth, and after only a handful, I couldn't eat anymore. I'm just thankful that he's preoccupied with something else right now. There's a soft knock at the door, and Brian jumps, quickly changing the channel to golf before he gets up and lumbers over to the door. I think that's a really, like,
A fun,
cute...
a little characterization.
Yeah. He pauses, then rifles through some magazines on the table next to the couch. He pulls out a handgun that looks cartoonishly small in his hand before making his way to the door. I weakly turn my head in his direction and watch Brian open the door a crack. He chuckles.
Word's going to shit, and you're still coming here for more, eh?
Brian pauses, and the door opens up a bit more, and I catch a sight of a skinny, malnourished polecat. Clint is looking up at Brian, appearing even more disheveled than usual.
So are we doing...
Clint head steps up onto the first step and looks into the trailer, immediately spotting me. He stares, the shock on his face almost comical. Brian turns to see what he's looking at, as if he'd forgotten that I was there. He gives a start before shoving Clint back out the door.
I'm full today. Already got someone taking your spot.
Clint's now out of my line of sight, but I can hear him shuffling around in the dead vegetation.
Please, I really need something right now. We can do it outside.
There's a moment of silence as Brian seems to be contemplating that.
No, I got some business to take care of. Tomorrow, maybe.
Clint starts to whine again, but Brian swings the door shut with a bang.
Fucking dopehead.
Brian walks back into the room, looking down at me, then back at the TV.
Probably shouldn't have let him see you, though.
He mumbles before sitting back onto the back down and switching the channel back to the cartoon. I stare up at my reflection. Even from here, I can see that my eyes are bloodshot and the fur on my face is matted. There are some dark spots on my shirt too, and distantly I wonder if Brian had broken ribs when he punched me. Then I remember that his hand had been bleeding when he did that. I feel strange right now, numb. I kind of feel good. It kind of feels good after the whirlwind of emotions I've had earlier. I still haven't caught up with everything that's happened since I was in the diner. Would I even be able to? Would I have time if Brian planned to? A tinge of panic pierces through my fog of disassociation, and I clench my eyes shut, screwing up my face as I try not to cry again. Brian snorts again, and something on the TV. I open my eyes to the distraught otter laying on the wooden torture contraption. Why is there a mirror on the ceiling? I surprise myself a little by asking the question. Apparently, I didn't give a fuck at this point. I see Brian look over to me with my
peripheral.
Why can't it be an F?
You really want to know?
I shrug the best I can, continuing to stare passively up at the ceiling. The movement sending electric tingles through my arms, which are completely numb at this point.
Well.
Brian shifts around on the couch as he tries to get a better look at me.
When I has my fun, I likes them to see what I'm doing.
I stare up at the mirror, my expression still blank.
I mean, it's not just about what I'm feeling. What they're feeling is important too.
Fear. That's what Brian likes.
Sure, I can choke you all I want and cut you all I wants, but when I do that to you, you're not thinking about what's actually happening.
Brian shifts into a sitting position, now more interested in our conversation than his cartoons. I realize now I've probably made a mistake.
Want to see?
I keep my face blank, staring at myself. I don't say anything. Brian gets up anyway and comes over to stand over me, above my head, blocking my view of the mirror. His reek's stench fills my nostrils, but still, I try not to give him the satisfaction of seeing how afraid I'm starting to become. His massive hands reach around my head and start to fiddle with something I can't see. With one. Wit? Okay.
Ooh. Yep.
With one quick motion, the strap comes back down over my neck and my eyes widen. I grit my teeth and try to press my head up against as hard as I can into the platform behind my head to loosen the strain. It's not a lot of pressure, but it's enough to make me want to gag. Brian chuckles again.
See, you're probably only thinking about how it's hard to breathe right now. Just trying to figure out how to make it stop. But
Brian leans back, revealing a terror-stricken otter on the ceiling, his eyes bulging, teeth bared.
now you see what's happening to you. Your brain telling you, yeah, this is really fucking happening.
The leather squeaks a little as he pulls it down tighter. I start to writhe at this point, and I see my tongue sticking out my face as a mask of horror.
You feel more, and that's what I like.
Brian's back into my vision, his expression different. He's really searching my face now, like he's looking for something.
Maybe you like it too.
Finally, with a final squeak of leather, Brian lets go, and I can finally, I gasp hungrily for air. Brian pets my head while I choke, I cough, inhale shakily.
Don't exaggerate. That wasn't nothing.
He moves away again and slumps back into the couch, pulling at his crotch.
Your buddy Clint gets it way worse.
I choose not to stare at the choking otter on the ceiling and instead look out the window, feeling fresh tears roll down my face. I'm not sure if it's the choking or the black hole in my chest. I watch as the leaves rustle around the wind and think about where the others are, why no one's coming to help me. Finally, I turn my head back to the ceiling. A blank expression has returned. Brian continues to chuckle at his cartoons, and despite myself, I ask another question. Have you ever killed someone? For the first time, Brian ignores me. I don't say anything for the rest of the day. I stare into the darkness, the only faint source of light coming from the moonlight leaving through the window. It's been less than 24 hours since I've been kidnapped. Still, it makes no sense that someone hasn't found me. Is what Duke said about the town true? I wonder what Leo's doing right now, if what he's going through is just as bad. I doubt it is. At least Duke seemed slightly less unhinged. I give a soft, trembling sigh, my head still throbbing from the day's events. The thunderous snoring from Brian is literally shaking the platform I'm on, and though I'm drifting off a few times, I can't sleep. He's right next to me, his stained couch apparently doubling as his bed. I shift around and the contraption from what feels like the 100th time, trying to get comfortable when I feel something. There's more give in my right arm than I remember. In fact, it's incredibly loose. I pause, then experimentally wiggle my arm around before easily pulling it out of the restraint. I freeze, disbelief, not wanting to believe in case this isn't true. Painfully, I crane my neck to look at my right arm. Through the dark, I can see that my arm is clearly free, my elbow on the board, hand in the air. I swallow hard, listening to Brian snoring again to make sure he's actually asleep. I try to I try to keep my breathing even, not wanting to make any more sound than I need to, but I'm almost sobbing with relief at this point. Now I'm able to partially sit up and make short work of the left arm restraint. Sitting up fully, I do away with the final 2 ankle restraints and slide off the table quietly. Brian is still snoring at a full volume, and it covers up what little sound I make. Making my way over the messy floor, I find the steps, and try not to stumble down them to open the door. Incredibly, there's no squeaking, no rattling, as I do, and before I know it, I'm outside in the cool air. I run through the woods and onto the road, sobbing with joy now that I'm free, now that I see Leo's house. The lights are on, and as I'm running towards it, I can even see Carl's horns through the window. I run up the steps onto the porch and bang on the door. Leo, Carl, get out! Open the door! I try to handle it and it opens, swinging inward to blackness. I stare, trying to comprehend. You really fell for that? I hear my own voice, but it isn't me that said it. Instead, it's higher pitched, like it's hearing from a video recorder than my own throat. Then I'm sucked into the blackness and slammed hard back onto a wooden platform. All at once, I realize what happened, and my heart feels like it drops through my chest. Of course, a dream. I'm back in the hot, stifling trailer, and it looks even darker than it did in my dream. I close my eyes and start to cry quietly. It feels like I've just found out that I'm locked up in a psycho's trailer all over again. I turn my head and look out to the window above Brian, longing for the daylight. And then I see two white eyes set against the black face, staring back into me.
I don't like that.
I jump. What the fuck? Am I still dreaming? Then I see the two beige-colored ears above the head. Kudzu? I gasp again, quieter. I'm overcome with relief once again, but the fear that I'm still dreaming is almost overpowering it. I wave my left hand as much as I can, but I'm not sure he can see it. I realize that none of the light from the window is falling on me. Kudzu moves to the side, then back again, squinting, clearly trying to see inside. I think about making a noise, calling out his name, but I have no idea how deep of a sleeper Brian is. As if on cue, Brian gives a loud snore and rolls over. Kudzu seems to have heard it, his big ears perking before he ducks down. My heart hurts just losing sight of him, and I strain at my bonds. Brian seems to be waking up, though, mumbling something in his sleep.
No, you're dead.
I pull at my right arm again, in case my dream has been on to something. It doesn't budge. Brian's really starting to tick me off now. His massive form rolling over onto his stomach, rubbing his face into the pillow. He starts to make loud gasps, sounding like he gets to his knees on the bed.
Back off.
He holds up his hands up, snarling.
You're dead. You're dead.
I stare at him, almost forgetting about Kudzu. His eyes are open and snap to me, his hands still out.
No.
His face is etched with horror, eyes wide and white in the dark. He backs up against the door of the couch, the back of the couch, as he continues to stare. I stare back at him, unsure of what he's going to do. About 10 seconds, his expression starts to melt from horror to confusion. I continue to stare back, bracing for another explosion from him, for whatever reason. His shoulders droop again, and he frowns at me.
Did you see her?
My mouth is dry, so I have to swallow a few times before I can answer. Who? Brian doesn't respond and starts to look around the trailer. I see Kudzu starting to poke his head out up again. At this point, I've made it up in my mind that I want to escape tonight. I'm not going to spend another minute with this maniac. Making a decision that could mean life or death so suddenly is terrifying and exhilarating. I don't give myself time to think about it. Brian. He doesn't answer, starting to get up and look around. Brian, I have to go to the bathroom. Brian sighs as he flips on a light. Kudzu drops out of view again. Brian heaves a huge sigh before turning to the counter. He reaches for a pan and dumps out the murky water into the sink. I wrinkle my nose. He shrugs at me.
What? This'll do.
No, I have to use your toilet. My stomach is feeling really bad right now. Brian turns and looks at me.
Like what? You gotta puke?
I shift on the platform. No, I think I have diarrhea. Brian pulls a look of extreme disgust, which is kind of funny for someone who apparently never showers.
Oh, come on.
He glares at me like it's my fault that I might be sick. He looks around a while, then back down at the pan. The bear seems to quickly discard the idea of setting and sets it back down on the counter. He comes over next to me and starts to undo the restraints.
If you try anything.
No, I promise. I just really need to go. Brian grumbles as he starts to roughly undo my restraints. I take care not to look at his crotch as it's pressed uncomfortably close to my face. As he pulls my right arm out, I gasp in shock and of pain. Whatever. It feels like a million needles are poking through it as he pushes my arm down next to my body. Wait, fuck! Brian pauses as he watches me grimace in pain, and I worry he's getting off on it. At a moment, though, there is some rustling next to the window, and I try to groan again. Oh, fuck! The bear looks at me, bewildered and annoyed.
What?
Now my dream seems even more ridiculous that I'd so easily been able to run off. Everything's fallen asleep. Just take it slower. Brian sighs even louder and gets to work on my left arm anyway. This time he doesn't yank my arm out, though, and lets me slowly move it on my own. It's not nearly as bad as my right arm, which is still violently tingling, but I have to grit my teeth as I move it to my chest. Luckily, my legs are fine, and I'm able to move them easily after Brian takes them out. It makes me worry about what I'm about to try, since I'm not nearly as strong as I should be. Brian is clearly on guard as he helps me sit up from the contraption, keeping his distance as he holds onto my arm. I sit there a moment, letting the circulation return to my limbs as I try not to fall over from the dizziness. Brian finally gives a growl of annoyance and pulls me off the wooden platform. I realize that this is the moment I have to make my move.
Oh, damn.
There's nothing nearby for me to grab onto, so instead I swing everything I have to smash my fist up against the side of Brian's face. Something cracks in my hand and pain runs up my arm.
Oh my god, you piece of tissue paper, man.
I mean, it would be the exact same thing if I tried something like this. I gasp and cringe, and Brian grunts. Brian pauses and slowly brings his hands up to feel his side of his face. I guess I hoped I would be able to knock him out with one punch.
Oh my god.
But doing that as an otter to a bear, especially a bear like Brian, would have been quite the feat. Brian does seem stunned, though, and that's all I need to take a huge breath and scream as loud as I can.
Which you don't get to do.
Kudzu! Brian whirls on me, swinging his fist along with him. I duck immediately, covering my head with one arm, and the other still locked in Brian's grasp. He only partially misses, his fists catching the top of my head and my arm. It knocks me to the ground again. Knocks me to the ground, and I sit there in a daze. I don't have long to collect myself before Brian is pulling a foot back to kick me.
Shut up.
I roll to the side and start staring, trying to back away while I'm crouched, and Brian yanks me up by my arm, my head jerking back with the force. Now I'm starting to wonder if Kudzu ended up leaving. If that's the case, then I'm definitely dead, because there's no way I'm gonna break his grasp. And as I'm thinking this, the door bangs open. Brian is in the middle of drawing his fist back when it happens, and he freezes, looking at the door. Look how tiny he is!
Itty bitty. Oh my god.
Kudzu stands there, his eyes wide behind his black mask, chest heaving. He's scared, I can tell, but Brian's shot gives me the opening I was looking for. I reach in between his legs and grab his balls. You gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Weirdly enough, the first thing I have was how fucking big it is.
Jesus.
It takes both my hands to wrap around and full, and as I do, I twist and yank down as hard as I can. I pour all of my fear and anger into this attack, snarling as I do. The scream that Brian lets out is so high-pitched, I feel like every glass in the trailer is going to break. Well, explode. The attack is all I have left, so when his retaliation comes, I don't do anything to defend myself. Luckily, it's not a punch or a kick, but rather he grabs the fur on the back of my head, along with my shirt, and he tries to pull me back. My face stretches back as I stubbornly hold on and just yank down even harder. His sack is stretched and distorted so badly, it's barely even recognizable as balls.
Jeez.
He screams suddenly, cut off with the sound of a deep, sickening smack. Suddenly, Brian's body crumples onto me as he falls to his hands and knees. It happens in a way that he's splayed out over me, his face inches from mine. I have time to smell his gag-inducing breath before the sound happens again. This time I see Kudzu swinging something down hard from overhead, and Brian's head jolts. I watch as his eyes lose their focus on me, and he slumps down. I turn my head sideways as he comes to rest on my body, crushing the air from my lungs. Man, Chase just can't catch a break.
He really can't, though.
Kudzu is there immediately and pushes Brian's body aside to the point of being able to pull me out. He pulls me out into a sitting position next to him.
Are you okay?
He's shaking, and I can hear his ragged breath in my ear. The contrast between being engulfed in Brian's stench and smelling Kudzu's shampooed fur and peppermint breath is striking. Why do you have to comment on that?
Very, very perceptive, I guess.
I can't speak, and instead I lean against Kudzu and wrap my arms around him as I sob. Kudzu holds me as he looks me over.
Can you walk?
I nod silently and press my face up against his fur on his shoulder.
All right, come on. We can't stay here.
Well, why not? I stand slowly, keeping me in the embrace as he guides me towards the door. I don't remember much about the walk back to Kudzu's house, aside from stilted flashes of dirt and sagebrush. It's dark and hot, and my shirt immediately starts to stick to the back of my sweaty fur. My legs are so numb that I don't even know if I'm moving them right. Kudzu has to hold on to me the entire way so I don't fall over. Crickets chirp all around us, but every few minutes I hear shouting and screaming in the distance. I try to look over my shoulder to see if Brian is coming after us, but Kudzu grunts and tells me to keep watching my step. Some circulation has returned to my legs, and I'm able to at least match Kudzu's stride over the uneven dirt road. Still, it feels like 1,000 needles are stabbing up in my feet and legs in waves with every step I take. I'm genuinely afraid that I'm going to wake up at any second and find myself stuck in Brian's trailer. None of this seems real. I'm still watching my feet and the ground, so I don't notice Kudzu's house almost until I almost kicked the bottom of the rusted trailer. Just the sight of the trailer is sending chills up my spine, even though Brian's trailer looks very different compared to Kudzu's. We stand in front of the door for a while as the raccoon fishes through his pocket for his key. It's made extremely difficult from me hanging on to him. I can stand on my own if you...
Got it.
Kudzu whips out a small gold-colored key from sliding it into the lock. Once we're inside, Kudzu immediately kicks the door closed behind us before reaching back to the deadlock. The inside of Kudzu's trailer is the opposite of its exterior. It's brightly lit, tidy, nothing like Brian's place. It's a little cramped, as any trailer would be, but the furniture is arranged neatly, and the kitchen is spotless. Everything looks way newer than the trailer is on the outside. I imagine the raccoon did a lot of work to get it to look like this. Kudzu quickly guides me to a small love seat and makes as if to lay me down. Yeah, I put a hand against his chest, feeling my stomach turn. Wait, I think I'd rather sit up.
Do you need anything? Food? A drink?
Kudzu's looks into my eyes with with his dark browns, the brows above them furrowed in deep concern. I nod slowly as not to upset my stomach again. Just water, please.
Sure.
Kudzu quickly hurries off to the kitchen, and I slowly lean into the cushions behind me. I'm not tired at all, but I feel numb, and not just physically. My arms throb, and it feels like the leather straps are still bound around my wrists. It even feels like they're being pulled by an invisible force. Like, if I relax, my arms would float back up into the sitting position. I shudder, hanging my body, then look around, trying to find something else to focus on. A grouping of 3 picture frames on a small side table next to the love seat catches my attention. From where I'm sitting, I can see Kudzu in one of them, beaming at the camera. It's actually kind of weird to see him smiling like that.
He was happy.
He was a happy boy. There's an arm around his neck, and I start to lean over a bit to see who it is.
Here.
Kudzu appears in front of me again, holding out a glass of water. I straighten back up against the cushions. Once I take the glass, he holds out his other hand with 2 white pills resting in the black pad of his palm.
Acetaminophen, if you're in pain.
I definitely am, so I take it in the glass without a word and swallow it down. For a second, my stomach sours, and I feel like it's gonna come back up, but only for a second. Kudzu steps back and watches me. Even though his face maintains his stoic, almost glare, I see his hands fidget together in front of his stomach. I nod weakly at the recliner across from me. You want to sit or something? Kudzu seems to consider, then walks over to the recliner. He sits on the very edge of the cushion, back ridge, continuing to stare at me. I take another sip of water, less this time, as to not upset my stomach. It looks like he wants to say something, but keeps silent, lips pressed together. Kudzu watches me the whole time. What's wrong? Kudzu opens his mouth, then closes it, thinking before opening it again.
Are you okay?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, I'm not gonna die, I think. I'm not really sure if I'm completely okay. Everything still feels numb. My thoughts feel sluggish too, and something that's been nagging at the back of my mind since I got here suddenly bubbles up to the surface. Did you call the police? I That's the word.
Absent-mindedly.
God, that's just so long for no reason.
For no reason. I guess there could be a hyphen in there.
Yeah, come on. Make it easy for me. Reach for my phone. I reach for my phone in my pocket, but it's not there. Man, he has to now pay for a new phone?
Yep.
Fuck. I have no idea where it is at this point.
Well, if I kill him, then, I mean, he won't have to worry about that, you know?
Oh, it's facts. It's
Facts,
facts. That's
yeah.
the goal. Are you going to try to kill Chase?
So you won't have to afford a new phone. I'm thinking of you, Chase.
Was it still at Leo's house? There's a tight look of concentration on Kudzu's face.
Consternation.
Look, that's not a real word.
You know, I think you might be right. I don't know it.
Yeah, that's good. What does that word mean?
I just said I don't know it.
Fucking
Consternation.
We're going to do the embarrassing thing and Google it.
Yeah.
This is now like the password playthrough where I'm just Googling words as I'm playing. Consternation. Meaning. Oh, we also have to do the thing.
Oh.
Consternation.
Well, we know how it's said. I said it right.
Consternation. Consternation.
Yes. I know how to say the word.
Feelings of anxiety and dismay, typically at something unexpected.
Okay. Very cool.
Learned a word.
Learned a word that we're never going to use ever.
I'm going to forget it in an hour.
You're going to forget it right now.
Phones aren't working. Even my landline isn't working. Okay. My foggy brain tries to process this. What? Why did the phone lines break or something? Kudzu shakes his head.
I don't know.
Alright. Sure.
Oopsie.
Should we walk to my car or something and drive to Peyton? Yes. I look back to the pitch black window. We need to tell someone right now. Janice and Leo still out there. Oh, Janice is not out there, honey.
Oh, no.
There's no way Janice hasn't been found by now. There should be police everywhere. Where are the cops? I turn back to Kudzu, feeling sick again. Kudzu doesn't say anything, and he's got a strange look on his face, like he's trying to figure out how to tell me something. Finally, he stands up.
I'll figure something out. Listen, I think you need to get some rest.
I frown. But we need to get someone out here. What if Brian comes after me? I shrink into myself at the thought, feeling goosebumps erupt over my arm. Kudzu steps closer to me and awkwardly reaches out to put a hand on my shoulder.
You'll be fine. Do you want to lay down in my bed?
I don't say anything. My head's still trying to catch up.
It's a waterbed.
Is that supposed to like...
Why do you have that?
Wait, raccoons have claws, right?
I mean, I'm sure he understands. He probably gets it. Waterbeds are just bad, though.
Are they?
They're just terrible.
I don't know. Kudzu adds if that makes the offer any more tempting. But why?
I don't know.
This makes me think less of Kudzu.
Does he... With the fact that he has it or the fact that he offered it?
The fact that he has a waterbed.
Yeah, no, facts. He probably offered it because Chase is an otter and they like water.
Oh no! Just throw him in the bathtub. He thinks.
You hungry? I have some muffins. It might help you go to sleep.
Is that all you have? All you have is fucking muffins?
It's probably just, a pleasant food.
No one likes muffins.
I like muffins.
It's because you suck.
Wow. Wow.
I shake my head.
Everyone listening, roast Josh for hating muffins. And if
muffins fucking suck.
If you also hate muffins, fuck you.
I could be eating anything else other than a muffin. I could be getting regular bread, like a dinner roll, perhaps.
I mean, Hawaiian rolls, maybe, but like, if you're in the mood for a muffin, muffins are like top tier. Pop that chocolate chip muffin in the microwave for like 15 seconds. Got a glass of milk. Man, that's good stuff.
Like, maybe it's because I grew up in an environment without muffins.
You might have, yeah. If you grew up muffinless, you kind of just missed the
So,
train.
like, when I was already a teenager and ate a muffin, I was like, this fucking sucks.
You're pitiful. Muffins are great.
No, they suck. They just suck. What? No, I want to get the fuck out of here. That's so reasonable, though. A loud pop makes me jump again, and I stand up. I'm not sure what I'm about to do, but Kudzu reaches out gently and holds onto me before pulling me away from the window. Faintly, I can hear some shouting outside, but it's far away. What was that? Is someone shooting? Yeah. I look at Kudzu, starting to feel desperate. He puts an arm around me, and at the same time, moving towards the end of the trailer where a big bed is tucked in.
I don't know. A lot of things are happening right now, so I think we should stay here to be safe, okay? For now, at least.
I hold onto the raccoon, unsure of what to do. Lay down on the waterbed.
Listen,
He holds me by both arms and looks back at, and I look back at him.
you gotta trust me that we can't leave right now. I'll explain it after you've rested a bit.
He pauses.
I can tell you're not really here right now.
Here right now.
You'll feel better once you wake up, alright?
The thought of lying down is tempting, despite feeling like I'm going insane. If I sleep, I don't have to think, just blank my mind and rest. My head is buzzing and I feel like lying down might straighten things out. Kudzu gently, but firmly, forces me to sit down on the bed. Despite his slender build, I can feel the strength in his lean muscles. But what about Brian and Duke? Kudzu slowly pushes me back down onto the bed, though water underneath the surface sloshing faintly. I just feel like those kind of beds aren't comfortable.
No, yeah, they suck. They're pretty bad.
I haven't been on an actual water bed for years. Carl used to have one. Of course he fucking would. Where's Carl? Where is everyone? I want to go back to the motel and find my friends again, but Kudzu seems adamant on keeping me here.
I got Leo's gun. Saw it on the ground when I went to check on you guys.
He must be able to tell from the look on my face that I'm not easy. I'm not at ease. Oh, there's an at there. Because he reaches out again to rest a hand on my chest. It's still awkward, but it's comforting at least.
I'll be here all night. Nothing's gonna happen.
That does make me feel better. At least well enough to get some sleep. Okay. I stare at the ceiling and lay back. I still feel numb, but it was in a way that helps me blank my mind. In what feels like less than a minute, I pass out. I feel like I keep walking along the train tracks. I'll be able to find my way out of here. I make sure to walk in the middle, using the planks like stepping stones. The steel rails on either side of me feel like some sort of barrier, a protection to whatever it is that's out there. I feel a presence in front of me, though a sort of pressure that builds as I continue to walk. Looking up, I can see that it's coming from that weird grove of trees that bunch up around the train yard. Something is crouched in front of that grove, staring at me from the trees. I keep walking though, because for some reason I don't feel like I have anything to worry about as long as I stay on the tracks. I notice something else behind the hunched figure. A few bulky objects hang from the trees. I know what they are before I can even make them out. I keep staring at them as I draw closer, ignoring the things that's watching me as I do, hearing the breath as I pass out. Now I can see there are several bodies hanging from the tree. They're all shapes and species. Some hang from their necks, others by the wrists or ankles. One of them passes me from within a few feet, and I notice that it doesn't have legs, both of them cut off at the thigh.
Bruh.
It's a wolf, and he dangles by one of the stumps. Okay.
Okay.
Blood stains his dusty cream-colored pants and shirt all the way up to his face. As I pass him, he slowly turns on the rope and as if he's following my progress. I look down at the corpse's face, the mouth hanging open, eyes wide. It's like he wants to tell me something important. I can feel my body again, but it's numb and heavy. Slowly, I open my eyes and see the beige ceiling of Kudzu's trailer. I flick my eyes to the right and I see Kudzu there, but only his back. He seems frozen like in a Frodo. He's not even breathing. I can't see the window very well from here, but from the small corner I see eyes.
Oh no. Okay.
When I finally wake up,
Okay.
Kudzu is next to me in the bed, his back to me, one of his ears folded under his head. Having been with Leo for a few years, I know that can be a pretty painful way to when you wake up. So I reach out and try to slowly adjust Kudzu's ear from under his head, but he immediately wakes up. He makes a funny snort sound before suddenly jerking up halfway off the bed, looking back at me. I smile sheepishly. Sorry, I was trying to fix your ear. Kudzu reaches up, poking at the ear.
Ow. Thanks.
I notice at the bedside table there's a small plate with what looks like a blueberry muffin on it. Kudzu notices and reaches out for it.
You want to eat? I ate a couple earlier myself. I didn't realize how hungry I was.
So there's only one muffin left?
Yeah.
He lowers his ears.
He's a hungry boy.
Oh my god.
Still one left, though.
My stomach has settled for the most part, so I take the plate from him. Thanks. It's still dark outside from what I can see. Did we sleep through the whole day? I realize that I've completely lost track of time. Yo, same. What time is it? Kudzu reaches over to the bedside table, grabbing his phone.
2:30 in the morning.
I rub my face. Did we sleep through the day or something?
No, you were asleep for like 2 hours.
Really? I felt like it had been a day since what happened at Brian's house.
Yeah, I found you around midnight.
Kudzu turns nimbly on his rear of the bed, facing me with his legs crossed.
How are you feeling?
I'm okay. Kudzu gives me a long, hard look. Again, he has the expression of wanting to say something, but he holds back. What is it? Kudzu lets out a breath.
Listen, I'm not going to ask what happened with Brian, but if you ever want to talk about it.
Talking about Brian is the last thing I want to do, and I can feel the threat of violence shivers coming from my spine just thinking about him. Kudzu reaches out one of his black hands and rub at my shoulder. Awkward and comforting as well.
I've been through some stuff myself.
Kudzu catches himself.
Not saying I know what you went through, but I know how it can feel having something really fucked up happen to you.
I don't think I've ever seen Kudzu stumble over his words like this.
I mean, I'm not trying to say that it's comparable if he,
Kudzu trails off, seemingly stunned at his own lack of,
delicacy.
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 Sure.
Sweet.
For the first time since I left the trailer, I feel a little bit like laughing. I reach up to rub Kudzu's own arm, feeling like I need to comfort him now. No, it's fine, man. He didn't do anything like that. At least not how you think he would. Kudzu watches me. He knows I'm not gonna ask, that he's not gonna ask, so I go on. He has a thing for asphyxiation. Okay.
That's the word.
I guess.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Kudzu's eyes immediately go to my neck. It's fine. It was just creepy. Creepy definitely doesn't begin to describe it, but I don't think now's the time to go into details. I look out the window again, and aside from from a few orange dots of light from faraway lamp posts, it's black. So, can you tell me what's going on now? Kudzu runs a hand through his head for sighing heavily and looks out the window with me.
Sure you don't want to wait until morning?
I really don't think I'm going to be able to fall asleep again, honestly. Kudzu continues to stare out the window, and that's when I really start to wonder what it was that I missed.
So yesterday about noon is when I saw some weird stuff going on.
Kudzu looks at me.
Your friend TJ, he came kind of jogging up the road.
My mind flashes back to when I saw TJ running past the diner. I hadn't had time to really figure out what he was doing before Duke barged in.
He said someone was after him and that he needed to leave.
He talked to you? Where is he? I feel the fur pricked up all over my body. The thought of TJ might be out there somewhere in the chaos is terrifying. How could someone like him survive that? I'm certainly doing a terrible job.
I don't know. He asked me if I had a car, but I don't. So he kept on up the road.
Up the road, there's nothing past Kudzu's trailer aside from Carl's house, and that's over a mile away. But Carl doesn't have a car anymore, but his parents might. It is a mansion, like it's...
Yeah, I mean, his parents aren't really there much. But I guess they would have a car for like when they come home or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
You know.
Maybe he's just staying with the Ram. I hope that's the case.
After he left, though, is when things really started going crazy.
Kudzu shakes his head.
You know Dale?
Yeah. Dale is the other otter in town now that my family has left.
He was walking up the road with a fucking shotgun, pointing it around and stuff.
Is that out of the ordinary for Dale?
Well, all right then.
Chase.
Jeez, please.
I want to get back on topic of TJ. If he went up the road away from the town, we could still find him.
But he was bleeding, had cuts on his legs, and his jeans were all ripped up.
Oh.
But he knocked on my door. I didn't open it, but he yelled through it, saying there was a meeting in the center of town.
What kind of meeting?
A fucked up one, apparently. Anyway, I went over to Leo's house to see if he was home. Then I saw the window.
Kudzu rubs the back of his neck, his ears lowering.
Obviously, I knew some bad shit had happened, but I had no way of knowing what. Anyway, I went to the town center hoping I'd see you two there, but just getting there was crazy.
Kudzu looks back at me.
Jeremy's house was burning, and Janice's house looked like it had been broken into, too.
Jeremy's house? That was Jenna's house.
Didn't run into anyone until I got to the townhouse.
This whole thing is just getting bigger and bigger. While I've been in Brian's trailer, everything's had been falling apart outside. Oh, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But why?
Society crumbles, no big deal.
What's going on? Kudzu shakes his head.
I still don't know that, even after they told me.
Who?
The older guys, Mark and the mayor, said something about this having happened before, that it was our turn or something.
Our turn? What does that mean? Kudzu shakes his head again.
I don't know. They just said it happened to their grandparents, that we had to be ready.
Ready? Did they tell us what to do?
Said to pray.
Is that all they told you?
Basically, acted like there was nothing we can do about it, and
Kudzu pauses. What?
they also said we can't leave town and showed us a body.
Kudzu stops talking. I stare. Like a dead body? Kudzu swallows and nods. What is going on? I feel my voice rise in pitch, and Kudzu puts up his hands as if trying to quiet me down.
I don't know, but there were weird cuts on the body. They said we can't leave because something out there will stop us if we try to leave town.
I stare at Kudzu.
Interesting.
Right? Like a serial killer or something?
They wouldn't say. They acted like it's a monster.
Well, then they're lying, right? Kudzu is quiet for a moment, then shakes his head.
After everything I've seen, I just don't know.
Well, I think trying to figure out what the hell we're going to do. Well, we need to find Leo at least. Kudzu nods, like he's already thought about that. Then maybe we can get my car and at least try to leave. Kudzu doesn't say anything to that. But if we can't leave for whatever reason, then we could at least try to find the rest of my friends. Because I care so deeply.
So deeply.
I look at Kudzu. Well, I do. I don't know what you're going to do. Kudzu gives me a wry smile.
Well, I don't have anywhere else to go aside from out of here. Besides, I owe it to Leo to get him out.
I feel a warm rush. Of relief flow over me, knowing Kudzu will be with me. I don't think I'd be able to do any of this alone.
Oh, is he gonna die?
So we're going to get Leo? Kudzu nods.
Well, I am at least. You should really stay here. Get some more rest after what you went through.
Of course I'd rather stay here and hide until Kudzu comes back, but Leo tried to save me back at the diner, risking his life to do it. After everything Leo has done for me, I owe him too. No, I'm going with you. Kudzu shakes his head.
I don't think so. It'll make things easier if it's just me.
Kudzu shifts, looking towards the kitchen.
Besides, I'll have Leo's gun with me in case something goes wrong.
He was my boy. Oh, was.
Haha.
I can't just sit here while you save him. Kudzu pauses.
Listen, I know Leo, and I know he would never want me to bring you into something like this.
Yeah, well, Leo not wanting me to do something never stopped me before.
Damn.
Getting defiant, like this makes me feel better. It gives me purpose again. Kudzu looks like he's about to shake his head again, but I continue. Besides, it might help things. One of us could go in while the other distracts Duke or something. Kudzu looks unsure, so I press my advantage. And if something goes wrong, one of us would be there to help the other. Kudzu pulls at one of his whiskers.
Maybe. If it's just Duke there.
He might not even be there. He might be at Brian's trailer or something else, or somewhere else in town. Kudzu sighs, then looks me right in the eyes.
Are you sure you want to do this?
No, I'm not, but I nod anyway.
Oh, shit.
Whoa.
Oh, shit, though.
Sunday.
Damn, dude. Give me that
Yeah, Saturday's long.
Whew-wee. My lord.
You rotated your saves, right?
I just put it right here. You see it right here. Rotate your saves.
Yeah.
Jeebus. Man.
So how we feeling?
Stuff's happening, bro.
Yeah.
That was exhausting.
Wasn't it?
That was pretty dang tense. And man, Other Chase is a dick.
What? What do you mean other chase?
Like, it's like, you really thought it was going to be that easy? What a turd.
Yeah.
What an actual turd.
Do you like the design of other chase?
He doesn't have the goatee, so he's automatically better.
How can you even say that? Chase loves that goatee. It's
Chase-
everything he's built in his life.
Chase can be wrong. It's fine. We knew this. We know this.
How do you like Brian?
Brian's a guy. He's
Yeah.
there. You know, another drugged out redneck wackadoo in Nothing Town.
Yeah, I kind of think he's like the most compelling of the antagonist characters because he's like actually scary as opposed to like Duke.
Duke is like genuinely seems, he genuinely seems like he wants things to get fixed, like he wants to fix things and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But Brian's just kind of like a villain. It's pretty spooky. That was rough stuff.
So
honestly.
I'll actually say this truthfully this time. Brian is the reason why I wanted you to play this route first.
Okay,
Because I think he's the scariest in this route.
I see. Okay, it is pretty intimidating. Did I make the right choice going into the kitchen?
You get caught either way.
Okay, I mean, I guess I figured that much. How does it differ running outside?
You know that dialogue about like Brian going to Leo's house and breaking down the door?
Right.
That.
Oh, that whole just happens.
Yeah.
Well, why did? Okay,
VN shenanigans.
I guess so. Fine. We have to end up at the same place no matter what you do. So
Yeah.
I guess that's.
It's just that dialogue got left in. It happens.
All right, yeah, fine, whatever.
It's all good. It's
Yeah.
all good.
But we got to see what was in the kitchen, and that was pretty wacky.
Yeah, you don't get to see.
Who was Janice cooking up?
I like to think it's Julian, TJ's friend,
I see.
because I hate him.
Oh, the deer.
The deer? Yeah. The ugly deer who I hate the design of. I hate all his dialogue. He's friends with TJ. That's automatically makes him awful. Because he works
boy.
he's a waiter at
Oh
the
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could have been him, huh?
Yeah.
Wacky. Oh my goodness. Well, she's dead now.
Yeah, she's super dead.
That's a rough life.
Yeah.
Man, stuff is happening.
And in one of the other routes, you get to be there at the town meeting. That Kudzu mentioned.
I feel like that's in Flynn's route.
What makes you think that?
You know, he has a lot to do with the town.
It's true.
He's
It's
a guy.
true.
He's a
You
guy.
also get to meet the mayor in that route.
That's fun. Other stuff, other people.
Yeah.
Lots of characters. Man, that's some wacky stuff.
Isn't it? I don't know. I thought this chapter was like real cool.
It is pretty neat. It's pretty good. A lot happens. It's a little rough. A little.
How do you feel about Clint?
You know, druggies do what they got to do to get their fix. You know,
It's like, yeah, that's rough, buddy.
that's a real rough living. That's the life of an addict, I guess.
Even when he's just trying to do drugs, that happens to him. He goes to his normal life. Leo's there picking on him.
No solace for this man.
No.
Solace. Dang, that's rough. That is rough living.
So next time will be the last chapter in Leo's route.
On Sunday.
Sunday, aren't you excited? Don't think about that broken window.
I mean, you know, we went to the Brian broke into Leo's house. That just could have been what it was from.
Yeah, maybe.
Could be. All right. Till next time, I guess.
Yep. See you around, everyone.
Damu.
Give me my mouse, dude.
Man, dude, shit is happening though.
It's super exciting.
That's so spooky.
Okay.
Dang.